All right. Okay, just a general recap from not just last session, but the session before. That way we can kind of get up to speed. In my opinion, I felt it's been pretty long since we last played. So just bear with me with a little further back on the recap. Um, Last we left off, uh, you guys finally left the clutches of the mysterious woodlands known as Haverlock Forest. You all finally made your way back to civilization at the town of Vanier. Upon arriving, you all had finally met with, or actually just a few, mainly May, had met with Foreign at the familiar inn that you had stayed in previously, known as the Lucky Stump, and fulfilled your promised task of finding and returning his son Wayne safely back. It was at this moment when he made his promised payment to Yume, and then learning upon the new debt that was created and was owed to you all when Wayne and himself made a request, in which Orn had insisted on giving him maybe a 10-day or so to gather the rest of the funds that was owed. Not long after that evening, in the streets of Vanier, the streets were succumbed to harassment by unknown creatures. As Theo and Hellscream came to investigate, you were all met with several large feline creatures with massive wings and a disturbing humanoid face upon this lion-esque kind of creature. As you learn later on that these monstrosities that you actually come in contact with are known, as legends have it, as manticores. during your encounter with the manticores, it was when you met with Omen, and that was just Theo and Hellscream at the time, which you met a young male that seemed daresome enough to chase one of these creatures, whom you've had the opportunity to team up with him and slay at least one of them. But right before you did slay this one creature, you were met also with a dark, mysterious figure who seemed to be in league with these manticores. As you see this figure floating above the chaos that ensued with these monsters, a few of you had witnessed actually this mysterious figure that was playing what seemed to be some sort of flute-like pipe of sorts, as he let off a wave of telekinetic energy, repelling a few of you. But before he did so, everyone noticed that they were making their escape. It was the next day when you all had the chance to rest, as a few of you had managed to finally, I'm gonna say all of you had the chance to finally rest after your week-long or multiple weeks journey through the north. And during this time, you actually had the opportunity to run errands and figure out things that you were kind of planning for said long time. One being May just shopping around trying to get certain things. Theo, who in a sense ascended in this new what would you say, new state of mind after working on Voxy. As you notice, opening her up and trying to study her at the same time trying to fix her, you feel like your state becomes altered as all this technology and intelligence that you were unaware of seem to flood through your mind like pictures as he made his ascension to being an artificer. And at the same time, Voxy, being able to walk on these newfound legs that Theo had finally procured and developed for her. As they both notice, especially Cedric, the gnome that was assisting Theo, noticed these these vines that came to life from Voxy as it retracted, or I should say it retracted. It actually pushed out towards these legs that Theo had created, and these legs were immediately covered and absorbed by these vines that came out of her. Though she has legs, still one arm, but this is only 3 days that we have actually gone through our downtime as we all wait for Foreign to come back and procure the remaining funds that is owed. That said, Hellscream also had the chance to attend to an armor smith and turn in his mail armor, if I'm not mistaken, his mail or chainmail, in hopes to get something in return with what he provided, which was a large piece of carapace from a Umber Hulk that you guys had previously slain in the Underdark. As the armorsmith, I believe, gave you 2 days of waiting, which a few days have passed and should be one more day left, which is actually this day that we are starting. At the same time, Omen, when the first day when everyone had awoken, you've already made your way towards there's certain someone that you went to go seek. We're going to take you back to that first day, as the rest of the party didn't know really what happened when they noticed the room you were staying in was empty.
I will also say that I folded the sheets for the barmaid and the housekeeper, so like the room was like pristinely clean. I just wanted to point that out, just as I feel like, and also I left not a gold, but a copper or no, silver tip.
All right, so you left a nice, a small little tip there for whomever will be coming to take care of the room. This is a good time to remind you that there is a currency system that I did add to my last session.
Okay.
There are these. It's pretty much in the sense of the worth of gold is very much so of like the dollar. It's basically money out of paper. It is called within the kingdoms a mark. So 1 mark is considered the equivalent of gold, of 1 gold. So just that way you aware of this new thing I introduced last session. So
what's like 10 cents then? What would if a silver was is it just marks? Is that it?
A silver is kind of like half. No, not even. It's what one. It's basically 1/10 of gold.
Mm-hmm.
So that would a silver would be kind of like that 10 cents equivalent, if that's what you're
okay.
trying to.
So like 10 cents. Okay, so 10 cents. All right. So
yeah. So that being said,
and he's using the EP for the marks.
Oh, that's right. So whenever you gain marks, whenever Omen gains marks,
mm-hmm.
you can use the EP portion of the character sheet for marks, because you have the GP, you have the PP for the platinum pieces, and you have the copper pieces. So that where it says EP, whenever you gain marks, you can throw it there, and that'll be a way for you to keep track of it.
So you said I had 50 gold to start with, so I'm just gonna put 50 on the EP, and then clear the.
You could say you get half of half, like half. gold and half EP that you've already started with.
Gotcha.
So, early this morning, as everyone sleeps, what does Omen do in the meantime?
I would like to meet with my employer, just to kind of tell him what's going on and report the instant finding of the monsters.
All right. So, what I'm going to ask you to do, as you wake up, you make your bed, and you gather your things, your belongings, as you make your way out of the Lucky Stump, you come out, and as you set footing in the Merchant Square, you can hear hawkers from a distance calling out, talking about the latest news on the last print as they pull up papers. As you can see, it's what looks like a little bit like a young man, probably 13, wearing like a newsboy hat with with just dirty, dingy looking suit. At the same time, you can see everyone around kind of on their business. Go ahead and roll an investigation check as you now try to figure out where your contact resides.
I have rolled a 10.
A 10. You're gonna say, as you go around, you speak to a few people, try to see if you can get some information. Walking around town, you find your way outside of the Merchant Square at this point. You start heading towards the Western District. As you notice that the Western District is a definite change in class. You could see that there are certain folks that are well dressed as opposed to ones you were just around. You could see that there are cabs, with a horse pulling them, beautifully maintained long hair horses. You could tell the carriage itself are just great quality that you wouldn't see most places, roaming here and there. Few of the constables kind of come by as they see you. Oh, are you lost, mate?
No, Monsieur. I am on my way to the Fur Traders Guild. Part of the commission.
Commission? Wait, what commission are you speaking of here? I mean, you are not in the, let's say, an industrial area here. These are the residential areas where good folk live.
Well, maybe you can help me then. I'm just looking. I'm new to town. I'm just here on mission. My employer wanted me to meet him for a possible job interview. Might I ask where you might know where a fur trader's commission is?
Look, mate. I'm not no tour guide here. This town is not that large. Maybe you can figure it out, but you're definitely not going to find it here. Might want to go back to the Merchant District, or perhaps go to the Eastern District. You look like the type.
Maybe, maybe not. All I know, I have a smaller nose than you. And I walk away.
You just see him go back to, he starts talking to the other one. By the way, they're wearing,
Yeah, I was going to ask, what rank was he wearing? What kind of...
You could see, no rank on them. They just wear black. They wear, a flat cap with, a very short brim. You can see that he holds a what looks like a billy, like a small little billy club on one side.
Mm-hmm.
The other one looked like he's brandishing a sword.
Do they look thuggish or do they look uniform?
No, you could tell they're well dressed in the sense of being clean. You get the idea that compared to the others you've ran into, these are probably maintained for the area. As you can see, the definite scenery change.
Okay.
As you go kind of backtrack, I'm assuming from where you came from, or is it you're just gonna kind of...
I'm assuming it's not there, especially for if he said you might want to look at the merchants
By this point, I'm gonna say you spent like a good 3 to 4 hours of your day, just kind of looking around, trying to figure out perhaps where your contact may lie.
I'm maybe I should look more on the outskirts of town. Is kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Just to see if I can't find the commission out there.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you just do another investigation check for me.
Okay. Wow. 5.
A 5. You are. You go outside. You find what you think it's the gate. And as you kind of approach it, and you're thinking like you're about to like go outside, you notice that you're trying to enter where it looks to be more heavily guarded. As you approach this gate and you see what's behind, you could see what looks like a pretty tall manor. As soon as you approach the gate, as you're trying to figure out, if this is the right direction, you see 2 individuals. These are more eloquent in dress, and you can see that they have like these nice suits. One of them is wearing like a bowler cap with like large sideburns. He's got really like a good trim. The way his face is shaven, you can see he's holding in his holster a revolver. And then the other one, almost the same cut. His suit's like more blue as opposed to the other one's like more of a tan, like a dark tan color. This one, he's wearing what looks like a kind of like one of those how you call those hats? It's more like a flat, like top hat. Same as this one. You could see that he's holding a revolver on with a bandolier kind of going across as a belt.
Okay.
As soon as you begin to approach, the one with the bowler cap with the large sideburns. Ho! Where do you think you're going there, mate? You lost to something?
Not lost, more exploring. Looking for job opportunities.
You hear this? He's looking for a job opportunity. You see the other guy he has like a little small knife, and you can see he's like carving what looks like a piece of fruit. At this point, it's starting to get a little dark because you spent like another couple of hours. As you can see, like the evening is starting to approach. Listen, little one, you might want to just run along, as the other one says, as he's there just carving through his piece of fruit. Looks like maybe it's already carved pears or sorts. You can see he's just like kind of just throwing some of these carved pieces on the floor, which is, in your mind, it's wasteful. Like you could tell, like this guy's just being wasteful with his food, and then he starts eating like whatever like is inside.
I want to be a dick, but I also want to stay incognito. I just go, look, mate, I'm from out of town. I've lost my home, lost a lot of things. Don't got anywhere to go. I have enough coin to last a little while at the inn. Look, I'm looking for work. I'm a pelter by trade. I can hunt creatures. I can hunt certain skins. I can go out the forest and I can find you anything you'd want. Or whoever you work for wants. I'm good at what I do, and I offer a good product for a good price.
You see the one with the bowler cap. He just spits in the ground. How good are you shoe shining? It's probably the only thing we can provide as far as a job. Look, you're in the wrong side of town. You might want to go back from where you came from.
Sadly, my mother is dead.
They look at each other, they start laughing. Man, is this guy joking? Well, he came here claiming his sob story. Think he's some sort of troubadour. Is that what you are? I think you'd probably best be at some inn or some tavern. Sing your sorrow song.
Would you like me to just shine your shoe with a knife, perhaps?
What I'd like is for you to get away from my face. I don't want
scared
to
or
see you on
something?
the street. Come again?
You scared or something?
Don't do it.
Scared?
Yeah.
Wait, do you know whose house this is?
No, I would like to know.
Well, obviously you don't know anything, do ya? As you find yourself in this area.
Why don't you enlighten me, oh smart one?
It'd be nice if I can find the info first. Oh, man.
He was stalling the whole time.
I just started stalling now, actually. Oh my god. Yeah, as the one with the bowler cap, he comes up towards you as he asks, "Oh, you know who this place belongs to?" You see that emblem right there?
I look at the emblem.
And you see what looks like some sort of family crest. Just your typical crest with it looks like on one side looks like some sort of feline cat kind of on its hind legs, and the other side you could see what looks like a bow with an arrow. This is the Saranthus family. Nobles. You understand what a noble is?
Oh no, not at all.
Well, it seems like you're running out of things that you can claim you don't know, so let me enlighten you. You best step off, or my friends and I might do it for you.
How many are
Behind
there?
a gate, you can see behind a gate, like you
There's
see like
more.
a couple of guys just kind of looking over. The gate is behind the gate. I mean, first of all, it's not just like all gated. Like part of it is like bricked.
Okay.
Partitions, and between the brick partitions you could see like a large gate with like steel barbs and like some elegant looking designs on this on this steel gate, and you can see that where the emblem lies is basically in the middle of that gate, and behind the gate you can see there's two other guys that kind of just curious on what's happening as you can see them just chiming in, looking in, trying to figure out what all this commotion is like in the front.
All right. You said your piece, and I won't cause any trouble. I'm just looking for work. Have a great day. And I walk away. I'm not trying to start too much trouble, but I did want to know more about like what the vibe was. So got what I wanted.
Based on your background, the Saranthus family is holds the major share within the merchant industry for the pelting trade. You managed to stumble across Lothesi's major family with the pelting and fur trade.
Gotcha. So this is my old competition.
Pretty much.
Okay. But gentlemen, I do have one question. Something I do know before I act more stupid is I'm looking for somebody in the town. And first name Jacoby.
Can't help you, mate. I'll be off.
All right, I'll walk off. It's probably late now, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so now you've noticed that definitely the clouds are starting to turn purplish on one side of the horizon. You gather that it's going to be quite late by the time you make your way back to that merchant square where the lucky stump is, if that's the direction you're going.
Am I further away from like the edge of town to where I can go and like kind of set up a little camp?
Based on your investigation, it's hard for you to know that because you've never been to this area. you kind of know where to go back. And once you go back, you can kind of figure out where you want to go from there.
Yeah, I'll just head back then. I'll go
Okay.
back where I know where I'm going.
All right. Yeah, so I'm going to say you spend the next 2-3 hours. It's definitely nighttime by the time you figure out where the Merchant Square is and going further north, which is the gate you came from. It's more like north, like more north, but like northeast. And you know that was a gate that you had previously entered Vanyar from. Really quick, the second day, go ahead and roll another investigation check.
I have a -1 day investigation. Oh my god. Oh, okay, that's actually a good one. 18.
18. So with an 18, you come back to the Merchant Square. You figured perhaps maybe someone within the merchant industries can figure out, you know, who might this contact be.
I figured I would go towards like where they would sell hunting, like ammunition, that type of stuff.
So you managed to go to, what is his name? You managed to go to the general store. Excuse me, got this damn LaCroix shit. You managed to go to
TV static water.
Yeah, I know, right? Where the hell is it? I should have done this last time. So you managed to get to the general store, where you're met by this halfling, and he mentions that there is a sense of a hermit that he thinks might be the person that you might be looking for, not too far in the Eastern District. So he basically gives you direction to go east, and when you go east, he said it's right next to the abandoned barber shop.
All right. Good. Does he have any shotgun ammunition, or at least any like reloaders, stuff that I could try to reload my own ammunition with there?
For ammo, you know that there are gunsmiths in particular that would carry certain ammunition. This general store is more along the lines of like your general goods for adventuring, and but not really. There are weapons, but more of the old, like weapons that you would find in most general stores. This one doesn't really specialize in firearms.
Gotcha.
So going forth, it takes you maybe a good hour, maybe less, as you get some decent directions as you start heading towards the Eastern District. And you can notice right away that the Eastern District is a definite setback in terms of the quality of the buildings, the quality of how the people are dressed are definitely lower, in the sense of these are the lesser class for sure. You can see that, you know, a lot of them, you know, would bear patches and, you know, in their coats and their pants. You know, you could see that these people are the struggling working class.
Gotcha.
As you managed to find the abandoned barber shop, as you can see, is all boarded up with boarded up in the sense you can see the broken glass, and behind the glass is like boards that they put up. You can see that the red and white the cane is just, it's busted up as well. You can see that, you know, that this was once perhaps a staple for this area that no longer exists. But you do find next to that, you do find a few doors. As you see, most of these buildings are packed together. They're not really separated. It's not a sense of like these separated small houses. You can see that it's like the way everything was packed together. it was in the sense of keeping people in small areas.
Okay.
But there is a door right next to that.
Kind of like an old Brooklyn type thing.
I mean, you could see it's in the sense of whatever they established here had just over time hadn't been maintained properly, and you can see that this it's more of that dark soot all over. I mean, it probably makes sense because there was no upkeep, as there's a lot of billowing smokes like stacks everywhere around town.
So is it obvious where the hermit lives, or do I need to take a look around real fast?
So the door that you see next to it, you do see that there is what looks like a scratched in or carved in onto the door. You can see like someone probably took like some sort of blade or knife.
Okay.
And you can see the initial with the J and the M.
Gotcha. I immediately walk up to the door, and I kind of give it like 2 good pounds, like bang, bang.
So you bang onto the door.
Mm-hmm.
You wait a couple of seconds. Seconds turns into a minute. Doesn't seem to have no response.
Okay. Nothing I could do there. I'm just gonna open the door. I'm gonna try to attempt to open the door then.
Okay. You go towards the door. You can see that there are multiple key locks. As soon as you grab the handle, it just doesn't budge. You can see that the door, like the knob itself, has a key, like a key impression for inserting a key. You can see there's also another lock above that doorknob.
Does the lock look any different or some special way or some kind?
They look sort of just slightly different from each other. They don't really look exactly the same.
Okay. Is there anybody else like in the street that they can see me right now?
There are a few people kind of walking about. You see some poor guy like wheeling, like pushing a cart, and you can see on the cart there's like some rotted like vegetables, like cabbage on one side, and you can see like carrots, like dirty carrots on the other.
I'm just gonna start pounding and just continues like bang, 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 just like continuously for a good solid minute.
All right, yeah. As soon as you just keep going, about a good 30 seconds in, as you just keep banging in, someone you hear behind you. He's not there, mate.
I turn around. Insight check.
You turn around, you see, I mean, you see your proverbial bum holes, like in his leather boots that pretty much just went way beyond needing maintenance. Patches everywhere. You can see that he's stubbly, a little bit of filth. Go ahead and roll your insight as you see this mid-aged person, really gaunt, skinny man.
I got a 17.
17. He oddly enough, being that he doesn't look well kept, he seems honest. I mean, you don't sense any deception.
Okay. Monzura, thank you for letting me know. Do you know where his whereabouts might be?
Well, he's constantly going out, coming back with paces of flanks from wherever he hunts. I mean, the other day, he carved up some bit of that stag that he got last time. That's why I'm kind of keeping a lookout. Hopefully, he comes back tonight.
Good needing, ain't it?
May I ask you, why are you here and you're interested in the old gaffer?
He's got something I want. Why else?
Right. He's just kind of looking at you up and down. Say, you ain't coming here to start any trouble with him, are you?
No, of course not. Quite the opposite, actually. I want to help him.
All right, all right. Well, it's probably best if you just kind of hang around. I mean, it is quite early in the day, but don't know when he's gonna arrive. I mean, I can keep a lookout for you if you like.
Are you gonna be out here? Are you gonna be out here a while?
Old Sebastian's always out here. What else can I do besides
You
scouring the streets?
Are you thirsty?
Oh, you got something to drink?
I can get some.
Does it burn my throat when I drink it?
Isn't that what you would like?
Yeah.
All right. Well, where is a good place to get a bottle?
Well, let me look at my notes. Well, you can always go to the old Sweet Tooth.
All right. I'll be right back. We'll grab a bottle. We'll drink together.
You're going the wrong way. It's actually south. That way.
South. Okay.
Yeah.
And where am I headed to? What is it called?
It's called the
Sweet Tooth?
the old Sweet Tooth.
The old Sweet Tooth. My kind of place.
So,
Don't let anyone put anything in your drink.
while you were heading over and blessing this guy with some drinks, you're gonna go ahead and roll back to the rest of you guys. So you guys wake up after a decent night out with this underground brawling club, so to speak. As May, you wake up sore as hell. As you wake up, you feel the side of your neck almost locked up, and in a sense of this sharp pain kind of goes over you as you there try to stretch out whatever kink you have there. What do you guys pursue for this day?
Well, after getting our bearings together, you could tell a little bit that Theo's been a little bit like up all night, kind of just thinking about things. He didn't get a full sleep, but he's kind of like wired mind right now. And he goes to May and to Hellscream. Where's Voxy? Is she like in the room?
I would say Voxy would be with whoever like chose to so to speak. I can't even think of words right now.
Right.
Whoever basically felt like taking her to their room. I'm not really sure who would have done it.
I think she would have ended up in Theo's room just to kind of protective.
All right, Voxy, what would have you done throughout the night? Since now you have legs and you can wander around and you don't sleep, what would Voxy had done? She there? Misty.
Yeah, me.
What was it?
Would have, while Theo was sleeping, like maybe flowers grow around him and like start trying to cover his body with vines.
Oh wow!
Because it looks like he's dead.
All right. So Theo, as you wake up, you wake up feeling.
White vines are not like.
I'm sorry. What was that? You sound a little muffled, Misty. I just barely understood that.
They're not tight vines. It's
yeah. It's just kind of overgrown around, but they're not like holding him, so to speak.
She was snuggling me.
Yeah.
So I could sleep better.
When you wake up though, you do feel, some weight around you, but not in the sense of like completely pinning you. But you do feel resistance as you begin to move as you wake up, and as you look down, you see all these vines covering all over you. Parts of the vines you could see these flowers, ornate flowers, kind of growing in sporadic areas. How would the flowers actually look, Misty?
Like the like tiny wildflowers.
Okay, just tiny wildflowers, just sprinkled all over, and in these various areas as it's grown.
Oh, fascinating. Explains why I felt a little better during the later nights. Did you do this, Foxy?
I'm super confused because I thought he was dead.
So I would imagine
Theo was
I would
dead.
imagine her like being excited, seeing you rise.
If I could gasp.
Well,
By the way, Voxy, go ahead and roll a wisdom check for me as we pursue the next day.
20!
How much?
20?
20. You are now starting to figure out how to articulate certain things instead of just one or two words. You're starting to it's starting to get back to you as far as language and how to communicate, as you spent the night before, and even throughout the night, since you didn't rest, hearing individuals walking outside talking. You can hear some of the individuals inside the common place talking, and you're there picking up the essence of language and communication.
Thank you for comforting me.
Like, poke at him because I thought he was dead.
Well, you are one fascinating thing. I cannot wait to see what else you can do.
Voxy, you told him you thought he was dead?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, so you hear her talk now, and you could see that she's kind of struggling putting the words together, but at the end she's like it's along the lines of like, thought I you dead, like kind of speak almost,
no.
but she got her point across.
No, not a bit. I am very much alive, as you are. Well, we have a big day ahead of ourselves. Do you want me to make you complete, whole? And he kind of gestures to her arm and pointing to the other arm.
Yes. Please.
You got it. Oh, you got it. Come. We must go. There's lots to do. And he rushes out, and he's looking for Hellscream and May.
All right. The rest of you guys, what are you doing?
May, feeling sore from her fight, she's going to the bathhouse.
All right. So you're gonna have the opportunity to kind of soak in and try to work out the kinks.
Yeah.
Remind me. Did Mechanicus, did he have his own room, or were you staying with him? I can't remember.
I was staying with him.
Okay, you were staying with the old naked Mechanicus.
Unfortunately. But
You
somebody
notice
has to keep an eye on him.
you notice that his belongings, along with just him, had probably left early in the morning, and you're after the bender, so to speak, of the fight you had last night. You just like were in this deep sleep and didn't notice that he actually went off.
All right, I'll make a note of that.
All right. You do remember that he had mentioned about the Guild of Letters chapter, so that you kind of have an idea that's possibility where he might have gone.
Okay.
And Hellscream.
Library.
Library, or are you talking about like the archive? That so there's no actual library. There is the chapter's archive that kind of exists, but that's only from what you gathered after May's attempt. You gathered it's a possibility you need certain credentials to gain access. You're not really aware if Mechanicus had gone or not though, but you are aware of that, and that's like the only place you think that you would know in town.
Maybe a butcher.
A butcher? Oh yeah, it's definitely butchers everywhere. If you do seek to go to perhaps somewhere that might have books for sale, if that's something you're looking for, this town in the Merchant District, you've managed to see like there are a lot of opportunities for, or perhaps an opportunity for that. For like maybe a book that you might want to pick up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, let's do that. I like that.
Okay. So as you do venture off looking for something,
I was looking for him though before he goes.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes. So before you do head off, you do see Theo excitedly coming to you.
And Theo just gets close to his mask, like looking at through his eyes, through his eye hole. I have wondrous news. I have something for you to do, very important.
See.
Here, and he goes into his bag and he takes out a bunch of macro chips that he had found in the ruins.
Microchips.
Mikra.
It sounded like you were saying microchips. It's like,
Micra.
Holy crap, we've gone so advanced.
Mikra.
Yeah, the micro coins, right?
Mikra.
Yeah.
He gives him a bunch of microchips. You didn't give me a number when I found, so it's just like random.
I think you found like 3, if I'm mistaken, because I think I put that in my notes.
Okay, 3 chips, and then he gives you a cracked emerald.
You said a cracked emerald?
Yeah, it's an emerald that we found, but it was cracked.
Yeah, I can't remember where you guys found that.
That's the notes I have for the.
Yeah, I remember you guys.
I devalued it a little bit, but
yeah, there's some value.
Get what you can with the money for this, and I need you to get me 3 things. 2 mainly. Find some thieves' tools and a fine leather strap. Can you do this?
I thought you said 3.
If you're able to, I need to find some kind of cartridge.
I look at him like, what the fuck is a cartridge?
It's a movable box that you can attach to things, and you can fill it with things. Something like that. Just mention cartridges to maybe someone of the north, the likes of mine. If you can't find it right away, we can find it later, but I just need to get feet out there. You must try with your life.
Yeah.
Remember, I owe you fish. The more you do these things, the more fish you will get. I promise.
Yeah. Not the first time.
Any monies that you need beyond what these microchips and emerald provides, I will make you whole.
I'll take the items and then proceed to.
All right, so you make your way out the Lucky Stump. Actually, all of you, as you do start to ascend down from the stairs, into the common area, you notice that there are a couple of folks there. You can see that there are beverages, including some pastries for the morning guests, essentially. As Hellscream, you begin to make your way. Go ahead and roll an investigation check. As you do seek out what first?
Well, I'm assuming I know where to get the thieves' tool since I grabbed all this stuff the last time.
Yeah, you figured the best place to go is the general store that you had just come from. Sure. So I'm gonna say within the next half hour, you make your way. You pretty much get to Maynard's. I think it's called the Red Cliffs General Store. If I'm mistaken, I gotta look for the notes again. As you're once again the Red Cliff Essentials. I'm sorry. As you once again meet with Maynard, the halfling that runs the place. You do ask for the said thieves' tools. He mentions, those are not tools that I have in particular skill sets that we actually procure. It's something more of a specialized kind of tools that you might have to go somewhere else for. As he explains, this is more along the lines for traveling purposes and I mean, the only thing I can guarantee as far as having tools is for parchment and quill for cartography purposes. But I don't have anything in terms of tools to, I don't know, break locks, if that's what you're looking for. I don't do any of that shady stuff. So you get the idea that there's nothing in this place that you can, or at least in this place that you would procure a thieves' tool set.
Let's try selling emerald and
Oh, you want to try to sell the emerald?
or the microchips, if anything.
Okay.
Start off with microchips, yeah.
The microchips. So of the three of them, the microchips. Look at the worth again. Shit open. And he looks at the microchips. I can give you. Is it? I found it. Oh, there it goes. I'll give you 10 gold per orb. You know what you got here, right?
For the most part.
Come again?
For the most part.
Right. I'm not gonna ask how you acquired these, since I don't need prying ears or eyes.
Alright, so I'd sell them for 45 for the lot.
45?
Yeah.
You do have 3, and I was asking for 10 each. I don't think that's gonna quite cut it, actually. We can settle with 35. 35 for the lot.
I'll take it.
Great. He pays you in marks, as you earn 35 from the as he called them, Ark'Azian orbs. As nobody really knew exactly what they were, but it seems that he knew. And you said you want to try to get rid of the emerald as well?
Yep.
All right. He looks at the emerald. He pulls out this little glass as he's holding it to the light and trying to find its authenticity. He looks and he's like, tisk tisk. You know, there's a crack in the middle, right? You where? He's kind of intimidated, and he's like trying to show you through like the glass, if you wanted to look.
Gander at it.
As you can see, there's it's more than a hairline going through it. I mean, with your naked eye, you can definitely tell if you like hold it properly, against the light. Well, it's definitely lost in value. Just want to put that out there right away. But I could settle for about a third of the actual price that this is perhaps worth.
Which would be?
Well, let me see what I got in funds. And he just starts going behind the counter. You could hear him just rumbling through things, and you hear like things falling over, and he's like, "Oh, Grat, damn it! That's not gonna be worth anything now." And then he just comes back up. All right, I can settle with giving you 723. I don't want to separate myself. Fine. 723 worth of gold and marks.
So, off of his like reaction of the whole fumbling, being nervous, how would I know that he's being?
You want to know if
Like,
he's
if
being
I know
truthful?
if he's giving me an honest price.
Go ahead and roll a insight check as he's trying to just persuade you, and like this is what he's asking for. What'd you roll?
Crit fail.
I mean, he's been trustworthy. He's seemed trustworthy since the very beginning in your multiple visits. You feel that he's, giving you a good offer.
Dumb as hell. I think the 723 gold.
He's gonna give you a heavy bag of gold. It's gonna be like a good hefty. It's not even a bag. I'm sorry. It's like a small chest. And as you open and you're like going through it, you can see that there is perhaps 400 worth of coin, and then the rest are in marks. So he gives you a good wad. So we're gonna say 450 gold pieces, and what did I say, 723. So the rest,
323.
Yeah, 323 marks. As you make your way with your payment, you're also gonna go to where? The bookstore, you were saying, right? You want to find a bookstore, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Well, Theo asked for these first, so more than likely I'd probably end up gathering that first.
Okay, so you just rush back to Theo with your lot.
No, the items that he requested to continue searching for them.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll. For that, you're gonna roll a investigation check, trying to figure out probably where's the best place you can find things.
17.
17. Another good half an hour or so as you look about. You ask some weary folk as they're really hesitant, being that you're wearing very traditional garbs in certain areas, especially the mask. it took you longer not to find it, but it took you longer just to ask the right person that wasn't like hesitant when they spoke to you because of your just visage, and they know, they could see that you're definitely a foreigner from Tarkim, as you call home. To them, it's the waste, the Badlands, essentially. There's one individual that seemed, hesitant but informative as he points you to the right direction. As you do find what seems a general store of particular goods, essentially. You do find, what was it? Like leather straps, which you can see that this person is like a leather worker. You can see that he has some that are more crude in terms of haven't been worked on or just haven't been properly cured yet, and then you can see some others that you can just see long strands of like leather straps that he kind of has rolled up, and you can tell that he probably either creates certain items with them or even sells just a certain amount for whomever, or particular seamstress or any certain customers that have acquired tastes.
Okay, so I'm assuming just because of Theo, just like the quick cut, he would tell me like how long and how much just of the strap he would need, nonetheless. Yes. You're muted.
Muted.
My bad. You gathered he's just looking for a good amount to just work for the purposes of his workbench, or the workbench. You feel maybe, it's up to you really to interpret that. Really.
I told him exactly what I needed.
I told you.
Look into my eyes. Remember everything I said to you.
So I proceed to speak to the man and ask him if he
Okay.
had a good amount of leather just lying around.
You can see that he has certain leathers that are already cut and seamed and like sewn, like to be like a good strap of a piece of leather, and then there's leathers that are like not really worked on, or beyond that, like leathers that are not really cured, as you could smell like that odor from that they would use like certain ointments to cure certain leathers.
All right.
You see he does provide like just crude straps of leather. He's like, is this what you're looking for, or something probably more completed? Not sure what you're looking for.
Just a good surplus amount.
For a great price, I can give you, some of the more uncut stuff.
Yeah.
All right. He just goes over that's gonna be it's gonna be 15 silver for that. It just cured it yesterday. Has a an odor to it, but by the 10-day it should subside.
Anything that'll be sooner?
I can give you things that has been cured and worked on. If you don't mind spending just a little bit more, I got a couple of belts here. For the both of them, I can give it to you for 25 silver.
Anything bigger?
Hold on one second, and you just see him kind of rummaging. All right, these have been cured for quite some time, but Um, they do require some finesse in terms of folding and sewing properly. That's what you're looking for. As he pulls like just strips of leather, but these are like, you can tell it's really thin compared to the other the belts that he was showing. You could tell the belts were like stacks of like thick leathers that he probably had that had pressed together and you know gave it the proper treatment or conditioning it.
All right.
You can tell like
So
the
let's
other
go
leather
with
he's
the
showing you
belts
is like the strips. Say again.
then. Yeah. Let's go with the belts then.
Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, and you can tell that there's like it's like a dark, like a nice, almost maroon in color, but it's a little lighter, like a dark maroon. Actually, I'm thinking about it. And these thick straps of leather that he had already kind of stacked together. You could tell that on one side he was like working on a buckle on one of them, and the other one is kind of completed as he hands them over for 25 silver. Would that be all? I mean, we kind of get pelts in regularly, and if you need more than that, I can, put a request in and work on some things.
Ask him if he knows anything about cartridges.
Cartridges, you say? What types of cartridges are you asking for?
I have no damn clue.
Oh,
But I assume Theo would tell me. He did say he specifically told me what he wanted.
What cartridges did you explain to Hellscream?
Oh, that's all it was. Things you could put. It's like
Oh.
little cylindrical boxes you could put things in.
Okay. You know what, Hellscream, for the hell of it, go ahead and roll an intelligence check to see if you remember exactly how he worded things.
3.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just I don't really follow with the cartridges that you were looking for. I mean, there's all sorts of cartridges, and I don't really sell cartridges. I mean, you might be better off going to, I don't know, a general store. I mean, they might have certain cartridges.
Damn it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I if I got more information, I might be able to help.
It's all good.
It's the burden of doing errands for people, I see.
Yeah.
Well,
I just take the money and leave.
I bid you a good day, sir.
Well, take the goods. You know what I meant.
All right. As you make your way out, cartridgeless, but at least with belts, some straps that could probably help Theo in his whatever scheme, or not scheme, but ideas he has with it. Let's say for the rest of you guys, May, let me know what you planning on doing besides just kind of hitting up a place to kind of rest. If you want to do anything else for today. You know that Mechanicus had disappeared the morning of.
I want to hit a clothing store to get me and Boxy some clothes, and
Okay.
then I'm going to try to hit the Guild of Letters afterwards if there's time.
All right. Are you gonna go with Voxy, or are you just gonna kind of go on your own? Are you
I'll
gonna
take her with me.
Okay, so yeah, at this point, you know, May would have gone over to the both of you, Theo and Foxy, and as you guys make your way throughout the merchant district, go ahead and roll between the both of you a well, first of all, I didn't even ask Foxy if she wanted to do that. So, Foxy, is this something you want to do before I just like
Oh.
make you go.
I think I would have taken Voxy with me to the workshop.
Right, that's what I was wondering.
Okay, yeah, that happened
Okay,
after.
so if that's the case, May, you would have came back from the bathhouse, and Theo and Voxy would have been gone.
Okay.
So you would be making on your way. So on your own, I mean. So for that, go ahead and roll an investigation as you're going around. I mean, you have an idea of perhaps what you might get Voxy and what might be her measurements, if anything.
I rolled a 2.
A 2. You managed to find a store that sells really, really, I mean, rags. Like, I mean, not really just actual rags, but you could tell that they're like more for the working class types of clothing. And for women, you could see that it's very dreaded dark dresses, for like the working woman, essentially. You could tell it's very at the very low end. I mean, this place took you maybe 2 hours to find. I mean, you are in the merchant district, and you figure out that's probably the place to find it. But it took you a good hours within the merchant district to find this place. But it, like I said, I'm not sure if that's what May was looking for.
She's gonna still keep looking for something a little bit better.
All right. While you go on, Theo, you make your way back to Cedric. I'm assuming you're going back to his workbench.
Yes.
As you knock on his door, and you can see how happy he is to see the both of you once again. Oh, you have returned! Yes! Oh, come in! Oh, I made some tea, and for both of you. Oh, that's right, she does not drink.
No.
I'm still getting used to this.
More for us. We have a long day ahead of us, and a lot of work to do.
Mind my asking, does she produce any excrement? Like an actual person does? Never mind. I suppose not. Anyway, yes, my workbench is available as, of course. Come, and he's just leading you back to his, to the cellar underneath where he works, and provides the space for you to work.
Yes. So we have a lot to do today. First, we have to concentrate and see if we can hone in on making her whole, getting her arm back on track. Secondly,
right.
Secondly, I need to know, perhaps, do you have any kind of cartridges?
Come again? Any what?
Cartridges. Containers.
Cartridges?
Small containers that can fill some liquid into.
Ha! I suppose I do have something. Wait right there. And he's just rummaging through his just chaos that he has. As you come down to the workplace that he has, and everything is kind of everywhere. There's clocks, like these little tiny pocket watches, like hanging off of like little areas here and there. As he's just rummaging through several different chests. I do have this. I mean, it's as good storage as any. It used to be a map case. It's lined with fine leather. I really had no sense of use for this, and I wouldn't mind departing with it.
Well, how big does this measure?
It's I would say like the size. You kind of like how a parcel tube is, but not as long. It's kind of like half of that. It's about about a good almost a foot long, and it's a good like a softball in diameter.
Ooh. Okay.
And
it's glass.
There is a
leather.
No, it's leather. It's like this leather. Like the top has like a leather cap, and there's a buckle, and you can see that there is like a small strap that comes out of it. It looks like it was like intended to like strap onto like something else.
Okay. It's possible it might be useful. Do you mind if I have this?
Well, yeah, well, yes. I mean, you know, as one inventor from another, I don't mind lending a hand and whatever baubles I don't need for.
Yes, there might be a way to repurpose this for something else.
Another invention on the way. I cannot wait to see what you come up with.
But first, let us concentrate on the main task. Come, help.
Right. Have you procured the materials for said arm? Oh, that's right, you have. And forgot last session you actually did.
Yes, yeah.
So, go ahead and with his help, you're gonna get advantage. For now, So, Voxy already had. Ooh, excuse me. LaCroix. Voxy already had an arm that looks like it has some sort of articulation, but it was kind of busted up. So it's more about repairing that arm and not just reattaching her to her. And there are certain intricate areas that you feel that you would have to fill in the gaps of the other end of this arm. You feel that there are multiple stages of getting this to work properly.
Okay. So I will attack that first stage. I take out my glowing artisan tool, hand tool from that's been imbued with magical properties now.
All right.
And I get to work.
All right. Now, I know as an artificer, you do have access to the supernatural means of like the gadget that you have that helps you. What is it you're trying to do besides just making sure this arm is functional, at the very least? You see that there is at least two things that you have that it's on your agenda. There's one to make this arm functional, and that other is to make it so that you can attach it to her.
I think let's do that to make it functional. So to make it whole,
All right.
Let's focus on that first.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a Tinker's tool check with advantage, since you do have Cedric helping you at this point. With his little tiny hands, he can get into like little areas that's like harder for you to get to, and he's giving you that that helpful hand in his master and his clockwork crafting that he has.
Yes, he's been very useful. Before I go though, I go to Voxy, kind of like do that thing you did. Give me that inspiration.
I'm assuming he's talking about guidance, so yeah, I'm gonna boop him on the nose.
Oh.
All right.
Do I feel something? Do you feel that, Cedric?
No, I mean.
Good. That means it's working.
Is the tea not sitting well with you?
It is, but I feel something better. Let's go. Let's work.
Mind I ask, what did she just do?
I think. Yeah, she just beeps. It's amazing.
Right.
And the D4, right? Yeah, D4.
The what?
So 16.
16. So this arm is very much on the technology, the foreign technology that you are struggling to kind of grasp the the way certain things work. So it took you a long time trying to figure out between the two of you. It's like putting this puzzle together. As you guys take the majority of the day putting things together, and then noticing it's like, oh, you put this together, but it's not going to work this way. As you disassemble and then reassemble and then disassemble again, and it takes you multiple times trying to figure out how to make sure that certain parts complement each other, and the way the arm and hand should articulate. I'm going to say it's going to take you at least 6, almost 7 hours, pretty much almost your whole day, really, as you're trying to figure out. And by the end of it, you guys are just, backs are aching, your hands are hurting from all these little pieces that you guys have been trying to put together. You guys are kind of sweating at this point. Voxy, I'm not sure what you're going to do for the rest of the day, because they're not really working on you. They're working from a piece from you. But they were just struggling the whole day, trying to assemble and figure out how to make this functional. But alas, you did, towards the end of the day, finally have something that you feel very confident in terms of functionality. I don't know what Voxy was going to be doing that whole time. I mean, you let me know. I mean, she's in a room right now with like multiple gadgets and clocks. You can see like, certain things are odd. Some things look like creatures, but it's not really a creature. It looks like it looks like it's like a mouse made out of like copper, and like there's like little intricate pieces that you can see, like the little mouse legs kind of like walk together. There's gadgets all over, just weird things that that probably grabbed your attention while you were waiting around for a very long time.
Oh, for sure, I'm playing with everything, touching everything.
Yeah, occasionally
there's stuff.
Yeah, there's occasional like things you probably like knocked over, and you could hear Cedric just no, please, don't touch that. And there's like moments of like just him just yelling at you.
Just like kick it under the table.
All right. So that's gonna be your end of the day, Theo, as you finally get that done. May, you go ahead and roll another investigation in the meantime, and then Hellscream, what are you doing? Are you coming back, or are you gonna continue a search? Hellscream?
Continue search.
All right, go ahead and roll an investigation on your end too. I'm not sure if you're gonna try to find somewhere where you can probably grab something, some books or something like that. Is that what you're trying to do?
Thieves' tools.
Thieves' tools. Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll for that as well.
17.
17. All right, and May, what did you roll?
6.
A 6. You felt like you wasted the majority of the day, May. Unfortunately, your only success was kind of finding like adventuring clothing, and those really lesser class drabs, and that's pretty much all you can find, unfortunately. Now, Hellscream, you, with a really well roll, it's not in the sense of that you couldn't find it, but you get the sense that they probably don't have a place with the tools that you're looking for, or Theo requested for you to look for. At least from from what you gathered from asking around and looking around, there's a possibility that you might not be able to find it even in Vanir, to be honest.
Alright, so he gives up and then returns to Theo.
Alright. So you return back. Same thing with May, since you pretty much gone through the whole day trying to figure out, or trying to find a place. At the very best, like, you just find, places you can eat. but the sense that you probably are going the wrong places to find some nice wares, like you might have an idea that it might not even be in like the said district you're in. Now, as all of you return back to the Lucky Stump, Omen, this is early on as you're approaching the old Sweet Tooth. You get the directions that Sebastian, the Wanderer, had provided. You do see what looks like an old, not really so much old, but just really lower class pub-like looking establishment. This one, as he pointed more south, and you notice you're getting closer to the dock. As you approach the area, you can tell that there is more of a sense of establishments for like purposes of like sails and sailors, ships, and and you get the sense that this is probably you're probably hitting the docking district essentially.
Gotcha. Okay.
As you find a place, it's not at this hour, since you are kind of early. It's kind of like almost noon at this point. You do see a few people kind of wandering about. Not many people in the establishment, at least from the outside. You can see that there are just people going about like doing their duties and hauling things. You can see people like carrying large equipments, and you see them either coming to and fro from like where you would imagine where all the ships, as you could see some of the ships from like the horizon. You could see some of the masts kind of peeking from the top of some of the buildings. You can see some seagulls kind of some of the gulls begin to be audible, and you can see some of them flying around on that area as well. But you do see, like I said, the old Sweet Tooth. And you can see what looks like a sign with a giant. It looks like an off-colored white tooth on a board, kind of just flapping over the door. And then on the tooth, you can see like there's like a crack in between, like designed, like putting like whoever painted it. Like you can see they intentionally put like a crack going through it.
Okay. Is there any like back alley?
There's a lot of alleys. There's so many different
Awesome.
directions. Besides like the main street that you're on, and the main street's where you manage to find this establishment. It's not really, it's kind of in the open, but not in a giant square manner, like the merchant district or even like the main town square. But there are. The streets itself, it's not super tight, but you could see beyond the main street that you're on, there are alleys that head in different directions.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to get out of sight for sure.
Okay. I mean, there are a few people. Are you going to try to be, because it's gonna be hard to like just not be seen, since there's like nothing you could like kind of go behind. Unless you want to be kind of like more incognito.
Yeah,
like,
I guess I'll try to roll for stealth or something.
Yeah, I mean you can roll for stealth, but it's not gonna make you hidden. It's just gonna make you more you won't stick out.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my hood.
Okay.
And then
Go ahead and roll a stealth check as you try to blend in with the said crowd of people working about.
It looks to be a 15.
15. You feel pretty confident walking through the streets. You don't see, as you kind of look up and catch certain individuals' eyes, you can tell like some of them are not even looking your way as you're just blending in with some of the crowds. You feel that you're not really drawing any attention.
Okay. I was gonna try to change my appearance here.
All right.
So I'm gonna try to go like to an alley and just like really quickly like age like 20 years older, basically.
All right. So, with that stuff check, you, without drawing any attention, you begin to walk down the street, and as soon as you have the opportunity, you slip through one of the smaller alleys. As you look around, doesn't seem to be any prying eyes or any indication, at least, as you feel like you have the opportunity. As you go ahead and change your appearance to, what do you say?
Basically the same like features, you know, like the brownish to the gray hair, but like maybe like a bit of a beard. Just kind of like look a little older, maybe, like, you know.
All right.
Not look like his, you know, normal boy age, but look more like a
all right.
type
So
thing.
we could say, yeah, that just easily easily takes place, as nobody, and as far as that you feel confident nobody was really getting drawing attention towards you. As you do so, what do you do?
I was heading to the bar and try to buy a drink.
All right, so you start heading in. You see the front door, which looks just like heavy stock double doors. You can see that there are some, at least some window panes on the upper portions of these doors, with a drape, and the drapes are kind of like half pulled, and you can see a little bit inside. It's pretty dim. As you open the door, you can see that it's very much saloon-like in the sense of the way it's laid out. You can see that there are multiple tables, and you know, as you enter, you do see that there is a long bar table, a long one. Like you're not used to it, but you get the sense that this place probably gets pretty packed in certain hours. But
Gotcha.
at this hour that you're in, it's quite dead. There is like one person that's like reading what you could see the papers, just like leaning back on the table. You can see some guys are just kind of talking amongst each other, which you gather it's perhaps employees that work here. As you can see, you know, they're not really dressed in the sense of like being a server, but you could tell that they're just, you know, have mundane clothing, you know, with suspenders, with a white tunic, and, you know, just regular dark trousers. You see one of them like smoking a cigarette. Pretty much a very unlively scene, as you would probably imagine, coming from this place.
Okay. I'll go ahead and just like sit at the bar and kind of knock twice and ask for the bartender.
All right. As you do see, behind the bar, you could see that a mustachio gentleman, very thick mustache. At the end, there's a small hint of wax, as you could see that it's has its pointiness at the ends of his mustache. You can see that he has the white tunic. This one's a little bit more well dressed as opposed to the others that you had seen. You can see that he has like long sleeves at the cut of like the bicep. There's like this band that kind of tugs tight. And you can see he's wearing like very decent looking trousers with like some pinstripes, so like gray pinstripes to like this dark trouser. He looks over towards you. Oh, I don't see your type much here. You said you're looking for a drink?
Just to take away. I'd like do you sell cigars by any chance?
Well, we don't sell any, but I don't mind, bumming one for you.
Appreciate that. But yeah, bottle of what do you got? Rum?
Rum, whiskey, the usual.
Rum. Rum it is then.
Right.
And I do have a quick question. I'll tip you extra.
Right.
The
Go ahead.
I'm new to the area and ran into a bit of a weird instance. I just wanted to know how much influence does the Sorrentis family have in the area?
You are definitely not from around here. Look, Sorrentis family stretches across the kingdom. They have unimaginable influence. I can't even explain, really. I try to stay clear of their business and those associates with them.
Appreciate it. And how much do I owe you?
He pours a small shot. First is on the house.
Appreciate it, mate.
May I ask, where's that accent coming from?
A whole lot of trouble of knowing, fortunately. Let's just say, for your kindness, it's a little far north.
Enough said. He actually pours himself one and he just kind of pulls it up and he just drinks.
Kind of cheers him. Yeah, awesome.
Listen, just to give you some advice. You seem to have some set of wisdom in the manner you speak. You might want to not go around prying with the noble families. He gets in a little closer. You might not just know who might be listening. Now, like I said, I'd stay out of their business.
I plan on it. Might I ask, do you know, I mean, being where you are, where I can find some work? I'm a belter by trade, but I can manage a few other things.
But yeah, I'd say there's a couple of billboards you can probably have a look at. Some of the billboards have some jobs, some tasks, some kind of mundane, some kind of ridiculous. It's really depends on what you're looking for, really. But I imagine you can make some coin off of it. Listen, I do have a job that you might be interested in if you are one that is. He's like kind of looking like how you're dressed and what you're wearing. You're able to perhaps take care of yourself in in a dire situation.
Kind of just grunt and kind of like give him a good grin, like you piqued my interest.
Well, I've been having some issues with the Moore Foundation. Now, foundation is kind of a strong word. But, there are certain branches from, this, Moore fella. Surgeon. I'm not sure if you heard of the fellow.
Surgeon's a name?
Yes. Surgeon Moore. Now, not that I want to step on any toes or anything, but Surgeon Moore is the founder and owner, you would say, of particular rival company to none other than the Serenthus, actually. They are, well, he is the owner of the More Fur Company. Like catchy if you think about it. But this gentleman, Surgeon Moore, from what I hear, is looking to set up shop, his own tavern in, in the docks here. I was hoping you could probably get some information. I'm not sure if you're up to that kind of work. Now, this might be some sort of, risk involved. If you might get caught trying to, pry and get information. I mean, I really don't know how far Surgeon's pockets go, but I hear that he has acquired said establishment on the other side of the docks. And I heard not only is he using it to trade and to transport the said furs that they're in, or he's within, but there's a little mouse that had told me that he has certain drinks, certain goods that might put me out of business, actually. Now, I know it sounds kind of out there. We just met and all. But by the way, my name is Ernst, by the way. Just finally make an acquaintance, I should say.
Most people call me Omen.
Omen? Now that's kind of ominous. Is that short for something?
Ominous.
Right.
I kind of just chuckle.
Well, Ernst Malkins. So, guess you got a name with the face.
Ernst Falcon.
This old mug, at least. So, I know this is probably a stretch since we just met, but if you are looking for coin, I am willing to pay, as well as my associates.
I find myself wanting to be in this town a little more longer. I definitely could use a few friends and make some friends for sure. But first, what product did the mice tell you he was selling?
Well, I've been told that he has somehow imported fire brandy. Some sort of fire brandy, actually. I'm not sure if it's the fire brandy coming from the Arnesian nation up north. Being that you're from up north, you might know a little thing or two. I mean, this is way up north. Not sure if that's where you came from.
What I know what this is, DM.
You know what? Go ahead and roll a history check.
Oh, history check. -1. Here we go. 9. Okay.
You are aware of the neighboring nation up north. You're not really too sure of the brandy he talks of and like the history behind it. But you do know that further up north, where the dwarves, the dwarven country lies, basically, further up into, closer to the frozen tundra, there is a sense of illegal imports that kind of happens from the north to other countries that are kind of like banning trades with them.
Okay, so somehow he's smuggling in this firebrand.
You're aware of that. That's like kind of like common knowledge that that their nation doesn't really they don't really trade much beyond Zagoria in your country.
You said the Neston nation?
Say again?
What nation is it called?
Let me make sure I got the name right, because there are other names I might be getting confused with because there's so much yet. Bad DM. All right. So the country itself. God damn it! Why did it just blank out on me? There it goes. It's known as Vixland.
Vic.
So it's spelled Vixland. Ugh, I butchered that. And he referred to them as Unisian nation. Unisian nation, from what you gather, is clan base. Because there are multiple clans within, the dwarves, and they have different territories within Vixland. Unisian nation is just one of the major clans that you've heard of, at least.
Gotcha. No, I will do this job for coin, but I can do a lot. I can confirm a lot more, but I do want to know one thing. You said you had associates. What might you be speaking of which?
Look, my associates would like to keep themselves out of the, let's say, the eyes of my business and those who are part of the business that I essentially run.
Keep them private, but I want to know, if I ask for information, would these associates know more than the common person, is what I'm...
No, they don't know as much as what I have gathered. I have a couple of individuals and, I should say just lackeys that kind of are not honest. I'm trying to find a word. When you're with holy crap, I'm trying to find the word. When you're with someone and you're I can't even think of the word right now.
Associates?
Not associates. It's
acquaintances.
No. It's kind of like no, like when you have like an honor to someone. I can't even think of the words.
Thieves' honor?
It's no. It's not a thief, but like committed to someone. I'm trying to find a word for it. I can't even think.
Comrades, like compatriots.
So I have certain people that are committed to the establishment, and they are pretty much loyal to loyal customers, perhaps. I mean, you really don't have to know most of the details on that, but I can provide you with the further detail in terms of perhaps where you might be able to head.
And I kind of left up my drink. I'll drink to that.
Right. He pours another shot in there. Look, I am trying to avoid having these people that are committed to keeping my establishment running out of the picture and out of trouble as well. So,
We never
excuse the lack of information is what I really want to get off of my chest. I mean, I can have the person at least lead you towards it, if anything at most. But from what I've gathered, or from what my ears have gathered, is that they are to set off with further imports within the next few nights.
Meaning they're getting more than just fireworks.
That's what I'm afraid of. Look, I don't want to put you in, the matters of my rivalry with the Moore Company, but they created this rivalry because there was just a fur company prying their noses towards other things that might ruin the ecosystem, so to speak, within the docking district.
I will help you. And
Great.
how much can we agree on for compensation, financially speaking?
I mean, now this is all about information, and as much information you can give me. Now, I can provide at least 200 marks just for information on what they are storing, and I'll pay you another 100 if you do provide with what is incoming. This might be a little more risky trying to figure that out. But if you can tell me what they're storing in the meantime, I can definitely provide you with 200.
And I open my hand to shake on it. Deal.
He reaches out, and you firm grip towards on his end. It's a firm deal on our end. 200 marks. Now,
I will see.
I assume you came here for anything else besides looking for work? It is quite early in the day to have drinks, yeah?
Yeah, I'm waiting for someone, but he's apparently going to be coming at night, so I figured a little day drinking would help pass the time.
I wouldn't find anything wrong with that, really.
I'll see you in 3 days, starting 3 days from tomorrow morning, at the latest, with information.
All right. Well, yeah. Until then, I'd say break a leg. Don't want luck ruining it.
Luck is no thing. And I walk away, hood back up, and I'm on my way back to, with bottle in hand, to the broken down barber shop.
Right. You head back. You finally come back to the broken down, abandoned barbershop. Did you acquire any drinks for Sebastian the Beantime?
Oh, I bought a whole bottle.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so the whole bottle. He would have asked for, depending on the bottle you're actually trying to get, the lower tier stuff would have cost you. Yeah, would have cost you a good 30 silver, or like the low end, just purpose of just getting drunk, don't care for quality kind of drink.
Gotcha. Okay.
As you arrive back, you could see it's at this point it's starting to creep towards the evening. I'm gonna say perhaps like maybe like 4 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. You could see the door slightly ajar to open now. As you approach, and you see coming out as the door opens, and this individual's back towards you. You see what the individual with ragged clothes. He has a really odd shaped hat, in a sense of like made by like some sort of leather. You can see the hat is like purposes of like keeping most sunlight off of like his neck area, and like and also you could see what looks like some areas where he put twigs and like vines, which kind of causes a trend with some of the other stuff that surrounds him as well on this like long coat that he's wearing. It's like a dark brown color. As this individual you see turn around, you can see what looks like a bushy eyebrow older man with a salt and pepper, but more on the gray side beard, scraggly.
Gotcha. And I go, Oathkeeper Jacoby.
You see him look up towards you. It's Jacob. You call me Jacob all the way here.
Understood. Finally met you, finally. Excuse me, I finally found you.
I assume you are Omen. I've had Bashir sent me information on your arrival.
That is correct. Wish to speak in private.
Boss. See him looking around. He looks very, like, not tweaky, but you can see he's very, so to speak, just weary, looking around, making sure, like, he's kind of has a sense of paranoia, but not overboard, but you can see that there is a little bit of it. Okay. And he just kind of leads you in as the door opens, and as soon as the door opens, you can see it just goes straight upstairs. And it's very tight, like a hallway going up basically into an apartment that leads to the very top. And just one door. As he opens the door, and you can see there's a small living space with everything kind of tied, kind of like a studio apartment almost. Where you can see there's various different firearms that looks like, some of them looks like he's kind of like working on, like some of them you can tell that they're kind of disassembled. You could even see some fur, some pelts like from various different types of creatures on another side of the wall that kind of complements the rest of this small room that he lives in. You can tell that's very much that of someone that keeps to himself with like all the things that he has around, which gives a sense that he doesn't really get visitors coming in here. This small place where the bed lays, and there's like a small study that he probably uses like to eat when he does.
Gotcha.
So, I imagine your journey was quite an interesting one, coming from the homeland.
Crossing the border was fun. I definitely like the backdoor approach. There's always a fun time going past battlefields and such, especially past dead battlefields. I brought a present, and I show him the bottle, and I go, it was meant for someone else, but waste not, want not, eh?
He looks at it. He just would have perhaps been much more qualityful. drink, but waste not. He just goes over, he grabs a couple of glasses, he pours like 2 shots worth into one cup, and then the other, and he gives it to you. He just starts drinking. I would imagine the fight up north is escalating since last I've heard. More soldiers from either side has been reinforced.
On both sides reinforced. It seems they just keep both sides keep throwing things until the wall shatters as much as possible.
As war may go.
I do have news.
News, you say? How is Bash treating the rest of his compatriots that come in through the freelancers?
Some call him bastards, but he's loyal, you know him. It's his nickname. But I will say, he sent me here on a investigation to kind of see the general atmosphere. And my first night here, I find this, and I kind of show him like a really crappy sketch of the lion flying thing. And I kind of show him that, and I go, don't call me an artist or nothing, but I will tell you, fuckers bite hard.
He just grabs it and he's looking at it.
I also met a small party, definitely from different backgrounds that go together. They're interesting.
While you speak, he's like almost not even paying attention to like the other end of the conversation, as he's looking deeply into like this rough sketch of the manticore. Is this sketch accurate with his tale?
Yes. In fact, I kind of show him one of the spikes that I took, and I go, a good example. Hollow point, kind of like a porcupine or
yes,
a shark fin. But the interesting
steel.
The interesting thing is it's also brittle from the other end. If you could break it very easily.
He's looking at it, and then he looks like into like the hollow end. It's only brittle because the creature was dispersed and killed. But as you can see inside of its hollow end, where its blood would have flown, this would have been as strong as steel, while the creature would have been bearing breath.
Interesting. I will say it followed a humanoid. He had a flute? It sounds crazy, but I tell you, I was sober then. And he flew, and then flew away, and the creatures followed him. Then I also met I look around. I met a wizard.
It's not too strange to find such folk, as most of them do exist, but it is quite a find, one that would expose himself. I would imagine he would not expose himself willingly.
The only reason why I saw him was because I showed him my bat, and I go, my little friend here with me. And I kind of put the bat away and just kind of like tuck it back in my shirt.
Interesting things have been happening with the last few weeks, actually. We, in this town, and many that speak, talk of creatures they've never seen in their lives while they're on the hunt. Some large monstrosities that only some can conceive through their nightmares. It is quite possible that something has perhaps taken place within the region, I would imagine that this mysterious person you speak of, perhaps they might have further information, or it could very well be the cause. Who knows? I am glad you have arrived. I have been away with certain tasks that I have procured through town, as they have seen creatures that never lurked the streets before. I have witnessed one of these creatures on my own that lives in the shadows and quite very well disappears. Not quite sure. These have become darker times.
I see. Well,
I am in the middle of getting further information, and perhaps I might acquire some information on what these creatures you have sketched here. Perhaps we can get to the bottom of why they have arrived. How many have you seen when they did arrive?
I want to say for sure 2. There might have been a 3rd, but with the party that I was briefly with, we chased one down and killed it with some quite effort. It wasn't like a deer where you shoot it twice and it falls, but this one, it fought with vigor and didn't care for its own life.
I would assume that perhaps on the constabulary, they might have further information. If there was a 3rd, we might need to get information on what the 3rd was doing then.
Well, I do have a lead to find said information.
Do you know?
I've been doing a little exploring and getting lost trying to find my way here, and I found the old Sweet Tooth, that old dinky bar next to the docks that likes to pretend it's dinky. I have found some work, good money, but he has he's a bit of a info broker that I've been finding of sorts.
Yes. I am aware of the old Sweet Tooth. I've managed to find myself at the bottom of a glass now and then.
Well, you're not gonna believe this, but from up north, the Moore Fur Company is opening an inn and getting some weird import. I'd imagine it might be linked to this whole situation, but that's just wishful thinking.
That would be quite hard to believe. I don't think that those from Vixland purposely bother with
What
the
race is he,
uses
by
of
the way?
monstrosities. He's just a human.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
he's
saying,
the regular
fuck,
man, yeah.
fucking dwarves are always tricky.
Those that I have met are quite stubborn in my experience.
There
Look,
was also one more thing. I don't know if you've ever seen this, because I sure haven't, but I was healed by this party by a weird mechanical being. The magical part is not important to me, but the arm was not alive, but it moved of its own volition. I didn't see much more.
I mean, it's quite possible that this said creature or figure, whatever you had perhaps encountered, could be one that acquired a very ornate mechanical arm, perhaps.
I thought it was
There are
Magical
individuals.
backpack.
Interesting. Mind not that. Perhaps gaining more information within the constabulary perhaps might further your investigation with these creatures which have made me stupendously worried. I will try to get further information from my contacts, and perhaps those that go out on a hunt might further my curiosities.
And I fill his glass up a bit, and I fill up my own, and I pick up the glass, and I go, to have more information, and for the oath.
For the oath.
Fucking down it.
At this point, it becomes evening as you're there, kind of hanging out for the meantime with Jacoby, or as he put it, Jacob, while he's here. You at this point, I'm not sure if that's where you want to stay for the night, or I mean, it's if you are, it's like there's like no room for you, but
yeah, I'll probably head back to the inn now. I've got pretty much everything I want, including a couple leads, and I definitely want to know more about the party that I was with. So,
all right,
definitely.
I'm gonna say the next.
Go back to Lucky Stop.
The next portion is we begin. We're gonna take a 5-minute break, just for bio real quick because I know I gotta pee. I don't know about the rest of you guys. So as soon as we finish this bio, give us like 5 minutes, not too long. We shall pick it back up.
Cool. Thanks.
And we shall see where we want to head from here. All right, be right back. right. We are back. So.
I'm mute myself.
It's all good. So, we have finally converged back into the Lucky Stump, as everyone that night had finally retracted back into the inn. As you all arrived there, you could see that it's this lively moment where people are gathering together. Some of them are drinking. You can see some individuals eating for the day's catch, being that this is a river town. There is assortments of foods from either fish and certain meats, since the town does have a well-established hunting community as well. So as you guys gathered in this evening, what do you guys do?
I'm gathering some fish food for me and for Hellscream. Just
All right.
hooking them up and drinking a little bit, and then just gonna head up to go to bed because there's more to do.
All right. At this point, while you guys are together, you see Omen come in.
I tip my hat. Come join us. It's been a long day.
You could say that twice.
Just want to interrupt really quick. You kind of went like Gregor there for a second. I was like, whoa, wait, what?
I did feel.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Go right back.
Well, I assume you've been busy. Glad to see you still here, because I was hoping to join you.
As he's like wiping some like grease off his forehead. Yes, I am. I have been. And he has her arm that's fully functional right now, and he takes it out, and he kind of like trying to, be a little bit obscure about it, but he uses his tool, and he kind of like nicks the end of it to make the fingers go like that.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like you
Like
add a charge.
it, yeah.
The nervous system's working.
Yeah, and it's just like you see like the hand just like doing like one of these like jolts.
Yeah. And then I maneuver it so it does a thumbs up. Hey, look.
Where's Foxy, by the way?
She should be nearby.
Yeah, I mean
She's just
Foxy.
hanging out.
Are we like? Where are we at? What is the setting? Are we in, like?
We're back at the Lucky Stump Common area where people are like either eating or drinking. There's like a giant pit fire. That's like surrounded by like stone. There's the Lucky Stump in the corner that is kind of like off limits now, as you can see. Like they kind of put a sheet and kind of covering that area now. By the way.
Gotcha.
Which was like its own room essentially, almost like its own room before. May, are you partaking in this too? I'm not sure if that's where May would have been at this point after coming back.
I'm gonna definitely eat, so I'll be near Boxy, trying to get like looking at her for like measurements and stuff.
Okay, yeah, Voxy, you see May, oddly kind of, taking a piece of string or like something kind of the nature of like long and flexible, and trying to figure out what measuring certain areas around you, trying to figure out what would you be in concern of.
I just kind of compare it to myself.
Yeah, that's what I imagine.
See.
Yeah, Voxy's she's a little bigger in the sense of. Like she's slightly taller than you, and she's also, because of her mechanical nature, there's a larger, torso, as like if you were to like get a piece of tape around it, like this piece of tape or string would fit around your waist, as opposed to her like being more of a robust like mechanical structure. It's definitely slightly larger than kind of like a what's her name? Kind of like a what's her face from Tarf from Game of Thrones. That knight, that female knight.
Never seen it.
Brienne, there you go, Brienne.
Yeah,
It's very much like it's like comparing Brienne to like a normal woman essentially.
Oh shit, that much better.
Like she's not super buff, but she's not buff, but she's slightly taller than a normal woman.
Am I seeing Voxy for the first time right now?
I was gonna say, you upon arriving see this figure in. I'm essentially thinking that she still kind of has like this cloak covering the majority of her, but as you do talk with Theo, you do get the sense that this other person that he's talking about is by his side and by the other person as May. And you can see this figure lurking with May at this point.
I just kind of like move her cloak and sketch her.
Also,
So
as
I
I
get an
walk,
idea.
there's still those little flowers.
Say again.
As I walk, there's just still little flowers by my feetsies.
So, okay.
She
Are
leaves
you
it really
intentionally
trails
like
of,
creating like druidcraft, like in like different areas here and there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go. You know what, Omen? Go ahead and make a perception check. Actually, as May, you're just having difficult time trying to like have Voxy stay still, kind of like a child, like that you're trying to have stay still for like a short period of moment.
I know how to handle him, just like Jillian.
I got a 2.
Yeah, it's just you're pretty distracted. I think maybe the mechanical hand that Theo probably showed you really threw you off. Like you've never seen that type of technology and construct and these little articulations. I know, right? Rest in peace, Jillian. Did I say Jillian?
I think she reminds me of Jillian.
Oh,
like
okay.
You said she's like a child type deal that's kind of like preoccupied,
Yeah.
attention span.
I mean,
so
Jillian had, she was definitely she's
a
definitely
child.
conscious in terms of like knowing what she's doing, and and very much mischievous purposely. Voxy is more at this state like a not a small child, but a child nonetheless. In the state that you are in right now, it's like being a 6-year-old, or because now at this point you're starting to articulate and talk.
So it's worse than Jillian right now.
I look at Mr. Theo and I go,
right.
That hand, is that the robot arm that healed me the other morning? Trying to keep quiet.
Possibly. She is capable of the arcade, but it's between you and me and us folks, of course.
Don't worry, your secret's safe with me, believe it or not. I just, By the way, is because there's like nature growing and stuff like that, is my my bat still around? Oh, he's muted.
Sorry. So she sorry. So Voxy, being that she's doing what she's doing, the thing is with your bat, that is sometimes you just make her disappear and recall her.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so she's not recalled right now?
Right.
Okay, so she's okay, cool. Well, what have you been up to besides this project?
Yes, it's quite a fascination I've had lately. Well, it opened my mind to new things. I was more what started with curiosity ended up being a new way of thinking. I don't know how to explain it, but she seems to have had some kind of source that I accidentally stumbled upon, and now I am able to craft or hone the arcane through my tools, through this tool. And he shows him like the artisan tool. It's like a handheld. It fits right into my hand, and it's kind of have like this kind of dual ends here, and there's like it's like a Swiss Army knife kind of thing,
So,
and it has a little slight glow, green glow to it.
so I just I would like to help out of curiosity, of course, but I see you're close to finding it, making it look more human. Yes.
I just am interested in making it functional. I've got the arm working, but now I need to attach it.
Is she under command?
I don't know. I haven't tried. Let's see. Foxy, lift up your hand and lift up your leg. Now.
Fox is a little preoccupied with May at the moment. Call back later.
So she's in the. I thought they were in the same table. So she's on the other side of the room.
I mean, you're all definitely speaking distance from each other, but it seems that she's just distracted and like talking to like not talking but like interacting with May essentially.
No,
Girl time.
I mean she summoned or
I didn't summon her, but it doesn't look like she follows my commands.
so she has her own intellect. Interesting.
Yes.
I don't believe I've introduced what I do. I am what's known as a belter. I make sure ecosystems are, well, stable. Whenever there's something that balances the tip, whether that be humans or, infestation of some sort, I come and investigate, report, and sometimes kill. Not assassins. Just don't get me wrong. It's more the poachers who like to exterminate species. This war has made business shit. So I've had to travel around a bunch. I do want to know your party a little bit more. Being some of you Naju. And I kind of just like stir my glass, and there's like a faint with I cast prestidigitation. How do you say it?
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation. I cast the P word, and this really faint blue, like almost like the color of the water itself, is on the water of the glass that touches my finger, and only like so that he would only be the one seeing it, and it's not super obvious.
So it's like a really subtle,
really subtle
kind of like aura that kind of went around it. I mean,
because you said we're in a private room, right?
No, we're not in a private room. We're in a common area. There's a private room that I was talking about before.
Oh, I thought that's where we were.
Yeah, no, you guys are in a common area. But you know what? Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check anyway.
Fuck it. Yeah, let's say fuck it.
I mean, you guys are huddled together. With that 12, I would say you feel pretty confident anyway.
Okay. I know the bartender is.
Yeah, because and you are kind of aware already that Thomas, which is the barkeep here.
Oh yeah.
He from the last time that you had spoken or everyone had spoken with him, you have the sense that he is one he's one that looks like to be protecting those with abilities.
He supports the arts.
And I look at Theo and I go, I only trust you because Now we both have something on each other. Dirt, as you say. I've been fucked over before, but I know when two creatures need to survive, they work together. And I wish to do more.
I respect that very much. I myself have my own trust issues, but I've learned to overcome them over time. Still comes at me as sometimes, but I appreciate your gesture of levelty. I don't know. Seeing eye to eye is important.
Agreed. I have some work to do for the next couple days that I probably should do alone just to keep you out of it. But when I am done with that, I might come under some major free time, hopefully. I just want to know what's your group's next steps.
From what you gathered from speaking with, holy crap, Ernst, you find, you gather that it's either going to happen tonight or the day after.
Gotcha.
The events that he was talking about.
Gotcha. I'm only like a couple hours away from the docks, right?
I mean, being that you know your way at this point, you feel that it'd probably take you like a good hour or so to arrive there at this point.
Gotcha.
You really don't know what you're getting yourself into besides what little information he gave you.
Mm-hmm.
So, you sure you want to do this thing you were doing alone? Is it one of those secret poaching missions?
Fuck it, I might as well make some allies. Well, there is this tavern being owned by some dwarves from up north who more clans-based nation. They're importing fire whiskey, which I've heard of, but I'm not too sure of. But I've been tasked with finding out what else they're importing. Due to our recent events, I might make the connection of what we saw the other night to what they're importing. I hope. I don't think so, but what I would get out of it is friends who might tell us more. You're muted.
Oh, I was coughing.
Oh, it looked like you're talking. So, if you want to help, I need a vote of confidence that you won't blow my cover.
Well, I'm not the secret kind. I'm more of the, how you say, guns a-blazing.
That's might be what I might need, unfortunately. I'm not looking for a fight at all. And, really, I'm there to gather information. I'm not there to snoop around and sneak in. Like I said, I'm not no assassin, but let's just say I'm good with people.
Perhaps you need a distraction. Well, a decoy, perhaps. You see my friend here, and I point at Hellscream. He's all the muscle, but anything that shows up, you can easily kill. If any trouble comes about it, but he's quite a coffee table topic starter kind of thing.
Okay. So let's say this. Let's say we will be looking for employment with this company. You work for me. I give you half the profit I make from this trip, but they don't know about this trip. What will happen is we will go in, say, hey, we want to make a deal, and see what kind of stock they have. Now, this might not be perfectly legal, but if, let's say, trouble does stir, We shall probably meet up here, eh?
We could. Yeah. It could be we could start in. It seems like they're very secretive. They might not want to be open to anyone knowing their business. So we could. Perhaps another option is staying back while you go in or sneak around and get the information you need. And if any trouble happens, we'll be right standing by. I can shoot from really far away at a very good accuracy, if you know what I'm saying.
Great. Back up, then it is. I like this. I like this a lot more. I'll go in, talk to them, sugar them up. If all goes well, we all go home with a good paycheck. I'll pay you, well, if I get 2 tasks done, and I'll pay you half what I make.
Consider it a favor. I know I'm going to need some in the future. You just owe me one, and owe him one, and
might I ask
perhaps
what?
anyone. I don't know yet. I'll let the spark of the imagination happen in the moment. Brain check it.
Do. But if, we'll have to talk more after tonight.
Sure. When do you plan on going to this thing?
I might scout it out tonight. And, but there's supposed to be a deal happening. Well, tonight or tomorrow night. The info broker that I know wouldn't tell me exactly, because honestly he don't know, or he wants to test me. I don't know which yet. But I imagine it would be tonight, with my luck anyways. Is your party rested up and okay?
I'm mentally drained, but doesn't mean my trigger finger ain't happy.
And, I know a friend of mine with guns. Might, I don't know, find you something nice if we, work together more in the future.
I think I know what my new favor will be.
Done. So, I will head out tonight. Would you like to talk with the rest of your party to see if they're cool with this deal?
I'm gonna assume that at this point I'm sure May and I don't know if
May and
they
Voxy are kind of preoccupied. You're probably
still been okay.
Yeah, I'm not listening.
Yeah,
I
I would assume Hellscream.
Hellscream is where
If he's freaking listening to me right now, Hellscream, he would have been like next to you, like having a meal, or drinking,
yeah.
whatever, yeah.
He's stuffing his face with fish, and he's gonna do whatever. All right, so I guess I go to May and Voxy. May. Are you interested in doing something tonight, mission-wise?
Mission-wise?
Yes, our friend.
What?
Actually, our new friend Omen is he's trying to gather some information for someone in town. It's an opportunity for him, and I offer my services in Hellscream as well. You don't have to come, but I'm sure if it all goes to hell, we could use your pit fighting skills, if you know what I mean.
Well, I don't want to lose any more friends, so I will definitely go. I don't know if I'm going to be at my 100% because that fight did take a bit out of me.
I kind of sit in. Look, we are not family of any kind. If you feel like you need to leave when too much shit hits the fan, per se, please run away. I will not judge you. Keep yourself safe.
right now, my family is this group. I've already lost 2, and I don't plan on losing any more.
Where is the old man?
I believe he left early this morning before I got up. I believe he went to the Guild of Letters that is here in town. Probably giving them his knowledge or chewing him out. You know how Mechanicus is.
I like him as much as he's an old fart. He's funny.
He's probably chewing them out. Who knows?
Knowing him, yeah. He likes things ran a certain way.
Do you trust he's okay?
I do. I'll check on him later. I think after that rest that he had and stuff, I think he's got his wits back to himself now.
That's good because they may be looking for him in this town.
Don't worry, I'll keep a very close eye on him. I won't let anything happen to him.
It's about at this time where you probably spent a good portion of the hour conversing, as you do notice outside in whatever particular windows you can see that at this point it's definitely reaching deep into the evening now. As some of the patrons, you can see that they're pretty much dispersing into, their, some who have their respective rooms, some of them going back to their respective homes. At this point, you can see that there is the essence of a lot of people kind of winding down for the rest of the night to for their rest. What do you guys want to do?
I will kind of get a napkin and some ash and kind of sketch out the city and show where I was told the deal was going to happen tonight, where the bar is.
I mean, you don't really know visually. You know from word of mouth on the other side of the docks.
Yeah.
So, when you arrived at the old Sweet Tooth, you aware that you were more on the southern eastern portion of the docks, and based on what information you were given, as he said, it was on the other side. You gather it's just the straight shot if you kept to the docks on the basically heading west. And he did mention that he does have a certain individual that knows how to get there as well, need be.
Gotcha. I informed the group with basically all the details. I don't want to leave them out at any route, so I let them know the individual is supposed to be meeting. Now we're kind of on the planning phase before we get there. I just kind of go like, so there's 2 ways we can go about this. Being that it's a bar, it's open right now, and you guys can grab a drink. I don't know. Or you can stand outside and I don't know where the deal's gonna be. But I want to make sure that you guys can reach me when I need it without me screaming, because I don't want God's attention on this.
Sounds good. I think maybe one of us outside, you inside, with another one of us inside.
Do you have a room upstairs in this inn?
We do.
I need to keep a secret with one of you.
Well, whatever I know, he's going to know, so perhaps you should tell us both.
So, let's just say I have a pet bat. Yeah, we'll just go with that. And if I can talk through this bat when I want to, and I can instantly say quietly, "Come help me," or the obvious. I just need you to not be weirded out by this thing, and feed it fruit. She likes fruit.
Very well. I think Hellscream will be outside. He's the less, how do you say it, or he's more obvious.
Gotcha.
He stands out like a sore thumb. Perhaps he should stay in the shadows.
You guys could come with me, and you do match up to be quite the bodyguards. We could play that role where I'm a businessman, and I'm willing to make trades, and I have guards as my courtesy, and that sort of thing.
We
Aren't
can do
you a
that
little
as well.
young looking?
Don't worry about that. Let's just say I'm an expert makeup artist.
Well, that
He
really
looks like
worked.
he has money, though.
I can look noble as fuck, if you know what I mean.
I'll go
Plus-
with whatever plans you guys go with.
That's up to you. You want to come with me, or you want me to go in and talk alone?
we could go in. I think it's fine.
I think
We'll be
that's
your
a...
bodyguards.
Agreed. Alright, I'll pay the tab and we head out now.
Alright. As you place your coin or marks.
How many?
Actually, it's more silver. Silver than anything else, really. Which the slang for silver's pan, like a frying pan. So you throw your pans down basically for the the drink, which it's not really much. It's about 3 silver basically. So 3 pans for like these drinks that Thomas kind of throws out. They're not the best of quality. It's just more along the lines of like lesser, not really lesser, but it's a form of one of the local brews essentially.
Gruel.
Right. So you begin to all make your way towards the docks. As this time at night, Venier seems to be less active. You do notice occasional areas where certain individuals are kind of hanging out. As you notice, like some of these places are more along the lines of like establishment for ale, or that could be taverns or even pubs or whatnot. The walk takes you a good 45 minutes till you get to the docks. Probably less, maybe closer to 30 minutes actually, as you already kind of know the way to get down to at least where you had last been, which was outside of the old Sweet Tooth.
Oh, we're outside the old Sweet Tooth.
Right. So you're basically you've managed to, like, visually, if you want to look at this map I have here,
Gotcha.
it's like you guys kind of came from this area down to like right here, essentially.
Gotcha. I'll walk into the old Sweet Tooth, not trying to gather any attention or anything, and immediately head to the restroom.
All right. As you arrive at the Sweet Tooth, right away you are met with a lively atmosphere, as just a juxtaposition, I should say, from when you first arrived earlier in the day. How monotonous and dead it was. This time you can see that there are many individuals. You could see a lot of them in sailor garbs, as you would imagine, like a lot of sailors coming from the docks, after whatever long voyage or long day they had pretty much experience for that period of time. You could see that they come here to decompress and just to have fun, as you noticed. A bustling of people, just having fun. There is music, as a few individuals, just kind of partaking with the festivities. That seems to be something that happens occasionally or almost every night, because everyone is having a good time, drinking. It's a fun atmosphere in the sense of just seeing all these people gathering. As you do, enter, nobody even bats an eye looking your direction. It's just everyone's kind of minding their business. The rest of you guys, guys hanging outside?
Well, for his bodyguards, I figure you'd be somewhere around or near him inside.
Okay. As you could see from outside in with just the areas where the shades are not covering. As you could see inside, and you guys follow through with Omen. Is Voxy gonna go into?
Voxy's gonna go wherever Theo goes.
All right. So as everyone goes inside, you could see Hellscream just kind of hangs outside. As he looks over to you, Theo, and he just says, "I'll hang out here." Essentially, just kind of just looking around and just posting outside. Even outside, there are individuals those that are inebriated, just being loud and obnoxious, essentially, and but not violent. But you can tell that a lot of them are kind of just talking amongst each other, and Hellscream is kind of just distancing himself from them, just kind of standing outside. While you guys go in, Omen, you do see Ernst, which he does not recognize you in this state of Omen, actually.
Right. I'm gonna head to the restroom.
So the restrooms are for this place in particular. Some places do have restrooms. This establishment doesn't have that. I would say that doesn't have that level of class to have a restroom inside. You would imagine.
It's an alleyway on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. You would imagine there's an outhouse somewhere, especially the fact that there's sailors and like the last thing you would imagine, the owner not wanting something inside his establishment getting fucked, essentially.
So what I'll do, I'll head up to Ernst. Right. I'll walk up to him, and I go, I'm looking for fire whiskey. I'm wondering if this establishment sells them as well.
And it's being that people are loud and everything, he almost did a double take when you spoke. He looked at you, and when he heard the rest of the question that was thrown at him, there was this sense of anger, right away. You could see that there is the frown coming over his brow, and he looks over towards you, and he kind of looks around, and he just nods over towards the back area away from the bar. As you can see everyone else being helped or assisted if need be by all the other workers that are in here, but he manages to kind of slip away during just the chaos that's happening right now.
Gotcha.
As he leads you to another room, that's a smaller room. You can see that this room probably is a place of established business, where you can see that there is a desk over here, but this room looks like it's made for storage, not really meant for a room to like establish business. It's just he just has like a bunch of like things kind of thrown in here with like barrels of like ale, or you'd imagine it's ale, and then like you could see that there's like racks of like bottles. Like you could see like there's particular bottles, placed in like this more ornate rack. As he goes enter and he leads you in, the rest of you guys follow as well.
I kind of like do this, like come with.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So then the rest of you actually go in, as you all led into this room with Ernst, as he notices like there's more individuals kind of tagging along with you, followed by like a tall like character that's like super like shrouded that's that he can't really see its features, as Voxy comes in trailing at the end with May. Who are you? And who says I have any fire brandy? I mean, it's look it, if you're with the commissioner here, I don't have any fire brandy. I mean, you could look at my stock right here.
My older brother Omen was here. I want to say earlier, he sent me and my friends here on a info gathering.
Omen.
I was told to meet you here, and that you were to expect me.
Wait a minute. And he closes the door and like makes sure like nobody's like looking. Hey, first of all, I was unaware that Omen's gonna have any assistance with a little task I gave him. And you let him know that I'm not gonna change my price as far as the task when it's done.
He agreed to the price, don't you worry. He's a good businessman.
Alright. So
like I said, he gets the job done. I mean, what's the obvious? You have a task we are here to achieve.
Yeah, well, I do have a task. I gave him some information. I mean, I'm not too sure if he was going to do it or not. Or had someone else do it for him. Wait a minute, you say younger brother? I mean, he looks like he can be your father, for crying out loud.
Stepbrother.
Right. Look it. I'm not sure if I need to catch you up with the rest of the information here, since I'm not sure if he gave you everything that you need to know.
All I'm here for is for you to point me in the right direction, and you had some sort of contact.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't know exactly where it is unless, I can tell you the general area. Give me 1 second. Hold on. He leaves out the door, closes it behind him, like gently. Takes him like a couple of minutes, as you guys are just kind of staying here in the stocked area.
I look to the party and I go, just call me Omen.
It takes him maybe 3-4 minutes as he opens the door. Come. And right behind him looks like a maybe like a 13-14-year-old kid. You can see that he's not super well dressed, but he looks like he's being taken care of, in the sense of like he has some decent clothing on his back. You can see he wears a nice overcoat with his like tan tunic underneath, like a light tan. You can see he's wearing a basic newsboy hat, like more of a fluffy side. And he comes in trailing Ernst. What is it? He's like looking at Ernst, trying to figure out like why did he brought him in there. Listen, boy. These people here, I need you to lead them to the moors. Show them where you saw them. That's all I need from you. As soon as you let them there, you come back. You got that, boy? Yes, sir. Do I, nothing more, boy. Just show them where they need to go and return back. Understood? And he just looks at him. Yes, will do, sir. So he then looks at you guys. This is Mouse. He'll show you where you need to go. And that is it. And then you guys do the rest. Just make sure you look after him, right?
Trust me, he will be safe.
As he looks over at the door once again, and he's like looking out to make sure like nobody's like really paying attention. God, I might have drawn more attention in here than I needed. Just give me 1 second. As he goes towards the back, and you see him. He starts like moving like these barrels out the way, and the barrels were on what looks like a trap door. As he pulls it, like from he pulls this latch, or not from like a latch. He pulls like a small door that can fit like like a slender person, and it's kind of like a tight fit to go through. But you can see like there is a passage that go underneath. Mouse, just show him the way to get out. And you can see the boy just kind of just jumps in, and he's basically like waiting for you guys to follow him. As you all one by one start climbing down into this kind of like a crawl space, you can see that there is a ladder that goes down. As you see Mouse at this point, where he grabs like a lantern that's like on the side of like the trap door. And you can see underneath what looks like a dirt path, basically. And you can see underneath also like where areas are being held with large pieces of like 4x4 planks holding the structure like underneath. As he's there trying to light up the lantern at this point, as he quickly ends up getting everything he needs as he starts leading you right now. The crawl space is very tight and short. It's almost like being back at Cedric's place, Theo, but even tighter, like even shorter.
Poor Hellscream.
Yeah, Hellscream is like on the other side, like he doesn't even know what's happening. So at this point, you guys manage to get through a series of turns, nothing too complex, as you see Mouse get to an area where there's another area with there's a short ladder that goes up to another area where it looks like there's a trapdoor as well. As he looks back at you guys, he gives you like a quiet gesture, and then he pushes up the trapdoor slightly, and you can see him peeking through it. All right, I think it's good. And you see him push it up, and he starts coming out as he's waiting for you guys to come out. As you guys begin to crawl out of this trapdoor space, you can see that it looks like what might have been like some sort of abandoned warehouse for ship keeping, but it's like a small little structure. It's not like a giant place for like giant ships. It's more along the lines like for like boats, essentially, like this little small boathouse that's like towards the edge of where the docks are. As you guys are led, you can see that now you're back onto one of the main roads as he starts leading you out. It's this way. Just keep up. So now he's going the opposite direction where you guys left Hellscream. But you guys kind of can figure out where that area was, if you want to go back for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, he would just like wait for you or whoever's gonna go, like go after Hellscream in the meantime. What's up?
I would have went with Voxy and to get Hellscream. And come circle back.
All right. Yeah, it takes not too long. You can see where you can even as soon as you get out, you can hear that the commotion coming from the old Sweet Tooth. And at this point, as you get Hellscream's attention and he begins to follow you, get back immediately. At this point, he's right now staying to what looks like a certain side. We're not in the main street where he's trying to avoid like majority of like prying eyes or maybe wanderers. And you can see that he's like taking a set of different routes that will keep him away from like the main area, and even in one portion, you guys go through one of the larger shipyards, ship houses, basically, where you can see that it's an area where they actually pull in ships to repair. This place is dead at this time. You can tell like nobody's really working at this time. As he leads you through that area and so forth, and he gets to the point where he goes back into an area where it looks like the main road is coming back on. Where the main road looks like it's being approached again, and then so forth. In this whole series of leading you guys, it might have taken in like 15-20 minutes of just going through bounding like certain tiny obstacles that he looks to be really proficient in like making his way in. Like you could tell that this kid like is very much so in the sense of using these routes and many times as he goes through them with ease and with no hesitation, trying to figure out where he has to go from each place that he's bounding from. He gets to another portion of the docking district, where you can see now there's another street that he's going to be approaching. This is the tricky part. There's not really much cover here, so you might want to just not draw any attention. Yeah. Okay. He's like looking at the rest of the party. He looks, he's like finally getting a sense of like who you guys are, and he's like, there's a sense of just how you say, not disbelief, but he's just kind of weirded out by like the group, like this motley group of different type of people, like, then he sees like Hellscream with his mask, and then he's trying to figure out Voxy, even though she's not doing such a good job covering herself at some points as they're kind of going along, as you guys are leading her. He looks back. All right, I think we're good. He starts leading you guys. At this point, you can see he's like trying to be like incognito. Everyone, I want you to roll a stealth check.
Stealth check.
Everyone?
Yes.
3.
That's
Yes.
about right.
18.
18.
11.
11. Tisk.
I have a +6. I have a
No.
+6,
Crit.
dude. Oh
Crit.
my god.
And
We're
crit fail.
in for a fight.
So you guys are in an area now that you could see that there are different sections in the sense of, you could see that there are portions of the this docking area, that there are different establishments between like certain portions of this pier. You can see that there are certain areas that have like higher levels than others, and occasionally you see from a distance, you see people kind of like talking amongst each other, like minding their business. Either they might be like sailors, or might be people that generally work around this area. It's really hard to tell, but as you guys begin to approach this new area, that's kind of out of sight with the nearby buildings that he's leading to you towards. Voxy,
Before we get too far,
go ahead.
I wanted to talk to the boy before we got like too close to the area, like while we're sneaking.
Okay,
Sorry to interrupt. I apologize.
no worries.
I wanted to tell him, I was like, listen, I'm going to need your coat and your hat. It's a weird thing to say, but I promise that I will give it back to your employer.
This is my lucky hat. I can't depart with it.
At least your coat. I'll give you my weathered coat for now to keep you hidden and safe and warm. and then I'll give you back mine if you give. I'll give you back your coat if you give you back mine. Luckily, we're around the same size.
Oh, all right.
And the gold would be left with your coat.
All right, we can trade. That's fine.
Deal.
And he just kind of like puts on his coat. Like yours is kind of more foreign, and he's like just looking at it. But as you guys approach now, Voxy, you're just at this point just making more noise as you start looking at things that are kind of grasping your interest. You see areas where there's like boats that are like laden to the side of the docks. You could see that there's like areas that have certain crates that go along with certain cargoes that have kind of been placed to the side. As you know, your curiosity just basically got the best of you as you begin to touch things more than you should. As one of the things you do touch begin to just tilt over. What you notice is basically a boat that is like not even fully fixed, or you can see like this like mainly the skeleton of just like a small boat as it just topples over and it's making just like this large racket noise, and Theo like follows with just like yelling at her like by mistake, and as you notice you yell, you kind of put your hands over your mouth like saying no, don't do that, and then just kind of cover your mouth. And then at that moment, like you guys kind of look at each other, and then you can see Mouse at this point just looking at you guys. Quick! And he starts like running, and he's like asking you to follow him as he's saying, "Quick, follow!" And he's like rushing towards one of the buildings that are not too far.
I follow.
As you all begin to bound and rush towards this building, as you guys begin to creep into like a small little alleyway, trying to get out of sight from the immediate area. And you can see Mouse right now just looking around. I think we're good. Look, I think this is as far as I'm gonna go. Now, just right behind those buildings. It's gonna be the last house, all the way at the end. It's right at it's the climb of the stairs, and usually there's a few men just kind of hanging out in front of it. That was the building that I saw them bring in the fire brandies. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway, better get my coat back.
You get
Good
your
luck.
coat back, Mouse. Stay safe, young man.
He just runs off.
No. I like look away from the party and I like rub my eyes, and I'm gonna make them fully silver eyes.
All right. As you just take your hands over your eyes and just rub them slightly for the next couple of seconds as you remove. And those that do pay attention, you could see the eyes of a noble person. That just this more of this silver iris instead of the the other coloration. I don't remember what color eyes did Omen have to begin with.
They were kind of green.
All right. Yeah, besides his more of the emerald color, I guess. As you guys turn the corner, as you begin to walk through, you see that there's a straight path along the side of the docks. You can see a couple of the ships a good distance off, but there are immediate areas that you can see in front of you that have some boats kind of just floating about, and you can see just not too far from where you are, still behind the next structure, you can see that there is a few people wandering around. You can see the steps that lead to what looks like a large structure, like a large facility. Not super massive, but like much larger than in terms of like width than what you would have expected. As you come upon this. You could see, as you guys approach that intersection, you could see that there is a few individuals pacing back and forth, from what you can tell. There are others that seem to be just posted there. You can see this guy right here kind of wandering about on the bridge on this more, it's really more of a docking bridge actually, as there are areas that still hold water, not only here but also in areas over here, as you've noticed earlier passing by.
Is there what I'll do is what's the normal like bird that lives around here?
There's usually like whatchamacallit, alabaster,
Seagulls.
like seagulls and shit, like pretty much those types of creatures that really kind of and in the evening you don't really see them. You definitely see the have their presence. You could see their presence in during the daylight for sure.
What about hawks?
I mean, hawks are just they're hunters. That's another creature you would know, especially as a hunter. You would know that hawks wouldn't really like scour in the dark. Like if you saw a hawk flying by in the evening, you would have been kind of weirded out.
To an owl.
I was either thinking owl or actually a cat. Now that I see yours, I'll do a cat, and then I kind of like looking at my Kopak, and I'm like, Autumn, it's time, and I laid out a little feline.
All right. As you call upon Autumn, as you open your coat, and as you've done so many times before, you see, she was first not there as you call upon her, and you see her appear as you pull her back from this other realm that she had come from. And shortly after, you see her revert back to her form, hidden underneath. No one really can see her, but you can see her in her original form. And she looks up at you. What is it you want me to do now?
I just want you to make sure that you know where their leader is and what he's saying. I just want you to tell me if he says kill them or not. Keep me alive and such.
So you rather just have me risk my life like you always want me to do?
I'll buy you fruit.
This is getting quite old.
So,
you can't just buy me all the time. I mean, I do lack some fun. And this does not sound like fun to me. This sounds like, well, my harm. Anything else? I don't think this
you're not
is a
even
good plan.
fighting.
You really need me to fight? I mean,
yeah, I
what
don't
do you want me
to
to turn into now?
A cat or an owl, your choice. Owls are graceful. There you go. I promise that I'll let you frolic about and mess with some people. In fact, you can do that now if you like. Create the distraction.
I can't do that now as a cat. It's not that fun. It can see me.
Do you want to do it in your normal form?
That sounds like fun.
Then you may do it in your normal form, but you must introduce yourself to these people. I'm trying to earn their trust.
Seriously? I am really getting quite old of meeting your miserable friends.
These aren't miserable friends. In fact, they might help me with our little issue.
What have you gotten yourself into now?
Well, one is made of metal of some sort, and one shoots, one's big and strong, one can punch a hole in anything, and one uses magic.
Ooh, magic, you say? Well, I do miss meeting those that are close to my kin and their essence. Well, let me get on with it. As you guys do see Omen, which in terms look like he's talking to himself. As he's looking down into not his coat, he's wearing Mouse's coat actually. As flapping her wings, you see what looks like a creature, small, about maybe 4-5 inches at the most. You see what looks like wings attached to her back as it flaps at a really quick pace, as like a flutter, almost kind of like a hummingbird. The wings are kind of gossamer. It's really hard to see as it's kind of very see-through, but you see that every time she moves in a kind of swift motion, leaves a trail of what looks like these sparkling dust behind her. And she looks like she's wearing what looks like some sort of robe, like a short robe almost, that looks like it could have been made from like anything pulled from nature. As you see what looks like a beautiful little female with wings flying towards you guys. And she begins to flap, and you see her kind of get to your face, like a good maybe like foot or so at each one of them, at each one of you actually. Well, you are definitely interesting to look at. As she goes towards Voxy, and she's kind of flying around your face right now, Voxy. Just trying to get a good angle and trying to look what's underneath the hood. What is that?
I create a big sunflower in my hand with the druid calf for her to stand on.
You see her gasp real quick, and then you see her flutter onto the flower, and then you see her kind of just do like a little dance around it, and then just like sits down, and then just like looks at the what you had created. I do think I will get along with this one. What is your name?
Voxy? They call me Voxy.
It does speak. Well, you were right. She does have magic. You hear her shout towards you, Omen, but no clue what she means by it, because you never seen Voxy do anything.
You're right, I haven't. I just seen flowers grow around her all the time.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, this is Autumn, as she's taken the liking of me naming her. This is my best friend / curse.
Oh, you don't have to be so drab about it. We have a contract together.
I'm stuck with her.
Right. Well, it's outside of marriage, of course. You're not my type.
You're also 2 feet tall, not even.
Well, look who's trying to throw back some disappointing remarks. Well, what is it you need me to do, as I see that I am in this dreadful looking place?
Look, I'm on a mission
Smells
together.
like fish.
I'm on a mission. To some people, that's a delicacy. I'd be careful, especially in this group. I'm on a mission to gather information. If you can tell me, besides fire brandy, what they're trying to sell and what is coming to us, that'd be great. Overhear conversations.
I don't know anything of this fire brandy you speak of. Do you want me to go in and just tell you what I see?
Just let me know if their conversations say about something that's coming in.
Right.
You can, after you find that out, I promise you can, spill over a glass, freak them out, paranormal activity, do your thing, do your magic.
You are not creative when it comes to scaring folks. Well, I shall do it. You see her get up and she's just looks like she's stretching for a quick second, and then she just vanishes. And once she vanishes, everyone hears the faint noise of a flutter.
That is the bane of my existence.
Theo, you feel your pants unbuckle, and then your pants just fall down.
Extremely often.
And then you hear a giggle. And then the fluttering kind of dissipates. You don't hear the fluttering anymore.
Well, I be.
So, that is the bane of my existence.
I feel for you already.
It's okay. She's like a little sister to me. Truthfully, I care for her very much. I've seen much of my life with her at this point. I'll explain more later, but it's about time you finally meet the source of my ability.
I need everybody to roll a perception check.
Oh my god. Oh my god! Ah!
24.
What the hell?
20.
20?
25.
Oh, wow. You guys rolled good.
They all did.
Okay.
Should
So,
roll for House Scream, or is that a good?
25. What else you guys roll?
Boxy rolled a 22.
All right. So, as you guys there wait patiently for Autumn to probably report back, as Omen, you're waiting for her response. You notice that there are a pair of individuals walking from the southern ports in the docks towards your direction. Doesn't seem to notice that you're there. You can see them there, kind of just almost looks like they're patrolling in a sense, conversing, little some words exchanging here and there from them.
Okay. I'm gonna go in now. Just follow my lead, and sorry for the rash thing. I promise after tonight there'll be a lot more explanation. I'm gonna change since they're not noticing me yet. I'm just gonna turn around with my hood on kind of thing and change to where I'm just about 6 inches taller.
Right.
I'm gonna look like a couple years older. I'm gonna keep my civil eyes, but I'm gonna definitely have the super slick back hair and looked polished as fuck. Perfect skin,
Right.
and trimmed eyebrows and stuff like that. I'm gonna turn around and I go, like I said, explanations and money will all come at the same time. Just follow my lead, and with my new coat that's fancy, and then because the kid had nice clothes on, I'll just kind of flick my thing up, and I go, and I just start walking forward, and I'll lead the party. How do you do the feet?
One thing you can do is that you hold and drag your token, and then press Q in multiple areas.
Gotcha.
And then you let go like that.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'll walk up 30 feet and just I'll grab a scratch piece of paper and my pen, and I'll just kind of start writing things down.
All right.
And I'm like, oh, and obviously being pretty loud and obnoxious about it.
All right.
I think this is where I was told to be.
What are the rest of you guys doing now as you see Omen changing his appearance yet again as you notice his eyes change color, and yet his features kind of change as well.
I think we're shadowing him, right? Did you say to stay behind?
I believe you did, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then
Okay.
we're just hiding. I guess we're just.
All right. As Omen, you begin to approach these, or the general area of where these individuals are kind of heading towards. You notice both of them just wearing just mundane looking garb, nothing out of the ordinary. But you can see one of them at least is holding what looks like a shotgun, not necessarily like a double barrel, just like a normal shotgun being held, and the other one, you can see that he's holding what looks like it looks like like a blackjack,
Okay.
like a club essentially. As you're there making noise, like trying to get attention, you can see them like look at each other. They're like, one of them gets the attention, the other as he like hits him, like pointing towards you. And then they start heading towards your direction. And as they approach, you can tell that these guys are not really, they don't look really well off in terms of like what they're wearing. You can tell that, they're just basically wearing, what they can afford, and not necessarily in a poor aspect, but you can tell like it's just enough for like appearance wise of what they got.
Gotcha.
As they approach, you can see two younger guys. One of them, you can tell that is more heavy set, and then the other one's like pretty skinny, and the one that's really skinny is holding the shotgun actually. Hoot there! As the skinnier one kind of comes up, and he's like holding the shotgun, facing down, not really towards you yet. What's your business here?
Well, you said it. Business. I'm on a business trip. I was hoping to be in this area, but I was told to be here.
He's like
I'm very
looking
confused.
At the other guy. He's like looking at the other guy. Like you can see, he's like that's behind him, the bigger, heavier set guy. That he looks stocky, and he's like holding this club, and he's like right now putting the club to his hand, just anxious, like not knowing what's happening. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check. I'm sorry, a deception check. Sorry.
Deception.
As you're there trying to deceive this young man.
19.
Oh, 19. He's just, you see him hesitate for a quick second. He's looking back at his friend. He's like looking back at you. Hey, I think you're in the wrong spot, sir. He's like looking back at his friend. Hey, see his eyes? Yeah, I know. He's like talking to the other guy. You can't really hear because the other guy's kind of like really not audible and low.
I kind of go.
You might be in the wrong darkened area, sir. You might have to probably have to go back to the harbor master and try to figure out where you need to go, sir.
I'm looking for a Mr. Moore? I was told I would meet him here, but I see you two gentlemen here.
You see him look at you and like, like you can see like there's a sense of like, oh, he knows Mr. Moore. The other guy though, he's kind of you get the sense like he's like trying to figure out the situation and like why you're here and who you are, as he's like squinting his eyes like towards like his friend and like towards you. And who might you be? As the bigger heavyset guy says.
Oh, people just call me Jackie. I'm just I'm a businessman. I like money, and it's my father makes me leave the house, and I have to come here on his stead. Listen, I'm just here to buy some type of whiskey that's from far up north, and and trying to make some more deals because like we're not from here, and it's just like my dad's in town for a bit, and it's a whole thing. All right.
Wait. Look it. We have strict orders that we're not supposed to let anyone near the docks. Now, we weren't told that we were gonna have any visitors, no matter the status that they bring with them.
Oh, I'm gonna fire whoever told me to come here. Listen, I'm just here on business, okay? I don't mean no harm. If it's all right with you, if is there someone I can talk to? I'm not trying to cause a problem. I really just want to get the business deal done with, and then leave because I don't want to be here.
Sir, I'm sorry. Look. I mean, Jackie, as you say. I mean, not to be disrespectful, sir, but we did get strict orders, and last thing I want to do is get in trouble myself.
If that's the last thing
understand.
you want, you don't want me coming back tomorrow with my whole family.
Family, he's now kind of just wondering what you mean. How far are you from these guys, by the way?
I'm staying right where I'm standing. I'm like holding a clipboard and like a pen and like looking like I'm trying to make a deal.
They walked up like during that whole time. The rest of you guys are trying to hold back. Go ahead and roll a stealth check, as these guys are approaching like your area right now.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
Oh, nice.
13.
A 9.
14.
14. What else?
9.
A 9. 9. And someone roll for Hell Scream. Because he is with the group.
Can I like you just roll like
He gets a 5.
Oof. All right. As they begin to approach, and then you mention like the family, and he stops for a quick second, looking at you, and family. What? Wait a minute. What family are you with? And then as soon as that happens, Hellscream just knocks over. One of the crates are kind of stacked onto each other. It's basically just not placed properly as he shifts, and then like the crate just falls over, smashing the crate, creating a bang as the guy holding the shotgun brings it up right now and like trying to figure out what just happened. Now, who's there with you?
Whoa! It's okay. They're my bodyguards. They were sent here with me because, well, I'm not supposed to be here, right?
Bodyguard. They're looking upon. What are you guys doing now? Being that you're trying to be stealthy and basically.
As soon as that happens, Theo comes out to, Sir, I am so apology. I can't believe it. Please
Monsieur, we'll talk about this later. If I don't make this fucking deal, I'm gonna deal with you tomorrow. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir. And I'm like smacking the Hellscream like bad. You're so bad.
No. Beatings are for tomorrow. They're for me to enjoy, not you. Damn it!
As you guys are kind of like conversing, and he's like, you see them both now talking to each other. It's like, what do we do? I mean, he's obviously noble. Yes, go get some more. Go get some help. I don't know what to do here, but these guys look kind of sketchy. As he's like looking at the rest of you guys, he's like trying to be like Omen. He's like looking the part of the rest of you, like whatever you're wearing, and like Hellscream is another one that just like screams that he's like not really like fitting the visage of like what this noble guy is like trying pretty much perceiving. As you see one of them run off, the one with the blackjack, the heavier set guy. As you see him run off towards the main stair areas that was pointed towards you guys essentially. What do you guys do?
Well,
As you see this
what-
guy now, he's basically
Wait.
starts running off, and the other guy, he's like holding his shotgun towards you.
If I were you, I would put that shotgun down. We'll stand here peacefully. There will be no problem. And maybe you'll get a nice bonus from the deal I'm about to make tonight.
Look. Okay, I understand what you're trying to say, but right now, I'm just trying to follow orders. Okay, all
Just
right.
put the gun to the ground, and that's all I ask. You can have it into your hands. Do your job right.
No,
I understand you have a duty to do.
For you tell me that. I'm not pointing at you. I'm pointing at these guys right here because
These
I do not
guys are
trust
for
them.
me because I am a traveling trader, and I travel with people I trust, and I don't trust you right now. So therefore, put your fucking gun down before I make shit happen.
Make an intimidation check at this point. As the other one, you can see he's running off at this point.
The guy who's running off, I take out my hand tool and I kind of just like wheel it to my side, and all of a sudden you see these little like metallic feet come out of my boots,
All right.
and I'm going to dash and get to that guy and tackle him.
All right. So you just like go down, you pull out your tool, and as you push down a button, as you feel this mechanical like aspect travel down to your legs from the thing, as you feel your legs like lighter than ever, as you begin to swiftly just go towards him. As the guy notices you just take off, he just like out of reaction, he just goes doosh, and he leaves, and he basically pulls the trigger, like not even trying to aim. It's more along the lines of like fear. Yeah, as he like lets off a shotgun blast, pretty much a loud bang echoing through the alleyway. As you see at this point, yeah, you can pretty much be there at this point.
Oh my
As you can,
How
as
far
at
did
this
he
point,
get?
I mean, he ran 60 feet because he just,
Okay.
he just took an action and a movement. As we will roll initiative next week or next following week. I'm sorry. To see
Okay, when,
how this plays out. This is basically like a fucking side shit that I was not planning on.
Did
This
you
session,
just
at least.
come up with this?
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you. All right.